Ladies and gentlemen. Bug Simulator.
Hey, I'm Willow. Willow Branch.
Immediate sub from an Oceans. Thank you very, very much, Oceans, as always. I have jotted that sucker down for Wargroove. Okay, so we were getting ready for the big invasion of the nest. That one right over there, the one I'm actually staring at. Here. I have a bow. What I do not have is arrows. Bag. Yep, so I need to figure out arrows. Probably here. Which take Might Fuzz, which I don't have much of. Okay, hang on. I think it's a red ant nest, but it's a big one. Much bigger than the one right next to us. It's the one on the other side of the yard. Okay, so hang on. So we've got arm guard, helmet, but not leggings. So I need to make some red ant leggings for whoever's going to join us with that, if anybody. Leggings, which requires red ant parts. How do we not have red ant parts? Wow, yeah, we don't have red ant parts. We have a lot of red ant heads. And some food. Honestly, we should probably have a food thing here. Those. Hey, hazardous. Cloverleaf, acorn shell, and sap. Ping to you, flag end. Let's put food over here. Right. Yeah, I don't know why hazardous. All I did was start a land war in Russia, and they're all just like, ooh. It's weird. Alright, those. And what do we do? Let's skip those. And make sure. Hang on. Sorting inventory. You know how it is. Sorting inventory. Sort that inventory. We are super not hunting wolf spiders today. Ew. Listen, hazardous. Okay, look. It caught me by surprise, okay? I call foul. There are... Oh, yeah, I can hit that. I'm just trying to sort by category between them. I gotta hit that button and make that a little bit more. Yeah. But, oh my god. Sub bond. Whoop! Okay, hang on. Hey, Jay Palmer's like, oh, I'll kill you! I think you're succeeding at it. Come on, game. Okay, wow. Apparently I'm just dead now. This is just my life. Gonna be eaten by underwater spiders again. There we go. Ahem. Thank you, Monobrand. They're on the side of the death spiders, because as a reminder, we actually can't pause the game, so as I'm all tabbed here, the game is still going, and I could be eaten at any moment. Summoner 2. An ace, combat 0. Thank you, Monobrand, and thank you, Jay Palmer, very much. Always appreciate. Good luck, Zactaft. You got this. Remember, if they say I don't know. I was gonna come up with something weird, but I can't. Oh, hey, no, that's the original suit. Okay, so that's the one red ant suit. So I still need talked. This is an online game, or at least it can be an online game. Might be the better way to phrase that. Is it night or morning? It looks like it's nighttime. Okay. Let me finish sorting really quick here because I want to make sure to get this going. So I need cloverleaf, acorn, and sap. Don't we have all of that? Be super do. Not. Where's our acorns? Do we have acorns? We do not have enough acorns. What's that? That's what it Actually, I'm pretty sure if this was a fully single-player mode, I could actually pause it. The problem is I'm deliberately hosting this as a server all the time, so no pause. But if I was, for the record, if I was playing single-player, I could actually pause the game. Otherwise, I'd probably ding the game for the same reason we usually ding the Dark Souls games for that exact same problem. But you can pause the game, so we're good. Here we go. Could also use an ant part. Where's my weapons? Where's my weapons? Where's my weapons? There we go. Where's that ant? I lost the ant. Come here, fellow ant. That I am also one of. While we're here. There's a lot of tree stumps. Metaphorically. Oh my god, I just realized it's nighttime, and I'm in the wolf spider's hunting territory. I've decided to not be here anymore.
Those aphids look like they have
Get out of
things
my way,
to do
get out of my way.
people to see.
So, funny thing about the wolf spiders, the overwhelming majority of enemies in this game, there's an audio cue that they're about to attack you or that they've aggroed you. Hey, we got some too.
That's not so bad.
Spiders don't. Spiders sneak up on you, then attack. And normally I'd complain, but actually I kind of like that they're unique in that facet. Because there's a degree of logic to that. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then, and that's kind of how that works. You saw this yesterday if you were paying attention. That happened a couple of times where I was just like, do-do-do-do-do. And I just hear this, and I turn around and it's on my face. It's right there. You know, just eating my face off. So, that was fun. Let's go ahead and finish making that. All this food. We'll drop some food in it. Equal to have to eat. Can spiders drop down from that? No. I'm pretty sure the tree technically isn't renderable, or at least accessible terrain, at a certain point up. In fact, probably right about there-ish. Just realized I could put this stuff in here, too. It's a little finicky because we're building on the water, but not nearly as bad as Fallout 4. Speaking of someone who actually built... You remember that whole base I built in Fallout 4? Like the whole giant mech place? Yeah, this was a lot easier to put together than that. And overall, the building thing is a lot smoother, too. So thankfully, we've moved forward at least one step from Fallout 4's building, although that is a good thing to jot down for thought, is the actual building mechanism itself, so... There we go. Okay. Especially good to compare about the other game I've been playing lately, which is Satisfactory. Alright, so I want the food. I mean, no, it's not as freeform as Minecraft, because things, like, for example, this little setup here had to be built in a specific way to make sure that it was supported by the lily pad it's under, and blah, 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 blah. So I can't just, like, for example, build a line of blocks out from the wall and then use that to magically create a floating fortress. I think. I think I can't do that. I'm not... I shouldn't say that out loud, because it's possible I actually can do that. But you get the idea. This came out quite a bit after Fallout 4, because this came out a couple weeks ago. At least it finished coming out a couple weeks ago. I forget when it entered early access. It would actually enter early access, I think, a couple years ago. But even still, that would put it quite a bit after Fallout 4. Alright. Start thinking. Do that.
That tastes surprisingly not terrible.
Put that in there. Get all this stuff off. Like so. Okay. Let's figure out how to make a canteen work, shall we? At night, while in the hunting spiders' death range. Yep. By the way, another fun thing about these spiders, they are very fast. Do you see the moving trees out there? Yeah, that's the spider right there. And that may not look fast, but given the distance between me and it and the fact that it's just kind of zooming along, that is quite fast. Hello, Berenian. Haven't seen you on stream in a while. And I'm pretty sure it can go faster than it's currently going. That's just roaming speed right there. So yeah, I think we're gonna make it daytime. I think that's a good idea. Take all those. Start that and that. Let's go ahead and pull out this. There we go. Now have a little bit of liquid. Right. Go ahead and have... Hi, Crazy Norse. Could you imagine? All right, time to go to bed. Yeah. That's actually one of the first things I was afraid of when I started up. Is like, if I sleep right here, am I gonna be eaten in the middle of the night? Is that just what's gonna happen? Okay, it looks like we're about half full of juice over here. I'm gonna let that just kind of collect. Good morning, Blackvile. Yep, as I say, we might get lucky with some soda instead. More soda. Still need more water, though. The grass stalks? That's building, if that's what you're talking about. Stink bug. Ignore that for right now. So we need arrows. We need mass-produced arrows. So first we're gonna get some water. Alright, so... they despawn if you just drop them on the floor. I hope not, Blade Chaval. We're underage. Alright, so... I'm just gonna check something specific. Right, arrows. Might Fuzz and Thistle Needle, both of which are not common resources. Well, we know where... Yeah, I was going to say, over there is the Thistle Needles. What we need is a good source of mites. So we can start making some arrows. We could also get... Gameplay Plus for cute bugs. There's cute bugs in this game? Thank you so much, Berenian. mean, the aphids are pretty cute, and not just because I've seen A Bug's Life. We're dropping that sucker down for the Dragon Age block. You got it. Okay. Excuse me. I mean, we could try to kill another ladybug. Right now, what I really want is Might Buzz so I can finish making the red ant suit. Oh, you mean as far as cuteness? Oh yeah, no, the ladybugs are super cute. Terrifying. But cute. Yeah, let's get some food while we're here. Since we apparently have an all-weevil diet at the moment. Yep, we're getting all the protein we need. Oh, sorry. There's Spiderland. We're going to be avoiding Spiderland for the moment. We've definitely gotten all the mutations, whatever they are, however they work. We have all of them. We've ultra mutated. We're actually a super mutant. Straight out of Fallout. That's the crossovers. This is actually set before the bombs fell. And we're the first super mutant, which completely breaks canon because this is a Bethesda game. Let's start up. Let's see, any more mites? Hello, little mites. Twitter mites, Twitter mites. Bug. Oh, there's those stupid grubs, which I still don't know what they're grubs of. Oh, and here's the swamp. This looks like a fun place to be. I've decided to not be here anymore. You know, I don't know, DJ2. It would be logical to say it does, because, right, more resources. But I have no idea. Might be a bombardier around here. So be a little careful. So what I really want is those guys.
Mites. Ugh.
Yep, there's a bombardier. No, that's not a bombardier, that's a grub. Or whatever those are.
Taking a look around.
Huh. Not a grub. This is a grub. That's a... I don't know what it's called. Larva, thank you. Again, not sure of a larva of what, but it's a larva. See you around, Brennian. Have a good day at work. Or else. So this is what one of the advantages is of when you have a manually crafted terrain. And I mean that with total sincerity. This whole region around here has a bunch of mites. And it happens to be right next to several of those flowers. Why is this relevant? Because those flowers have spines and those mites drop fur. The two ingredients for arrows. And you can design things like that. You can actually have flow and layout and design to your overworld if you design your overworld. I know, shocking. I'm only mentioning this because this is one of the things that really differentiates games like this, or Subnautica, from a more random procedural generated survival-y buildy game for me, where what you find and where is completely random. Now, I should probably mention I don't think that's a superior method, it's just different. Some people prefer to have the complete RNG of what am I going to find? I prefer to have a designed experience. Near as I can tell, it's really small in Oceans. Like, if you actually zoom out and look at it. No, the HUD is up to date, although all of those are kind of in question mark land. Yeah, those are my current thoughts, is probably a better way to phrase that. Let's get all kinds of these, just as many needles as I can here. We're going to need a lot of arrows, I feel. We're just going to take every one of these suckers. Notice how even the leaves on this thing are designed to allow you to kind of rotate, jump around it to get up. It's more that design thing I just mentioned. I know it's strange having design in a video game, but here we are! You can also fail a jump in a video game. That's another thing you can do. One of my favorite things to do, personally. Ever since the old days. Yeah, I'm hitting the ceiling. That's the problem. There we go. I think we got enough, though. Oh yeah, I need to figure out how to activate that thing. Does anybody know how to activate the fuzz? There is fall damage, yes. Even though, yes, I know there shouldn't be, but there is fall damage. The run button. Okay. Oh, it just pops out immediately. And there's our glider time. Cool. Ladybug, ladybug. Have to go fight a larva. Oh, nope, larva left. I like the sound effects of the ladybug, too. There's a spider tree. Cute. There's also bees. We need to deal with those at some point. I don't think we're ready for those yet. I'm going to leave those alone. Okay, so we should have enough to make some arrows and, more importantly, our third suit of red ant armor. Double checking to see if there's any more mites around here. We could get more thorns. Why not? We're right here. We're right here. Let's just get all the thorns while we're here. Oh, absolutely. Ladybugs are cool. Like, I mean, I've done work on a farm. I understand the value and benefit of ladybugs. I don't like saying those things with vague memories because occasionally I'm wrong about those. But apparently I was right. Ladybugs equal good. Those are the janitors of the garden. Whoops. I started. I wonder if this actually be easier from this perspective. Let's try that for a bit. Let's see if it's easier to do jumps when I can see my legs. That's a big yes. That is much easier to do. One of the reasons why I appreciate the fact that we have camera modes. Kind of wish it wasn't over the shoulder. Over the shoulder is evil, as it always is. There we go. Can I do anything with that? Yeah, probably not. I don't mind platforming in first person, but I'm much better at platforming when I can see my feet. In 2D or in 3D. You know what? I'm kind of curious of something now that we're here. What's that? What's that? Is that a ladybug or a death? It's a ladybug. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. You know, that's actually a legitimately interesting question, hasn't it? So let's assume we have the infinite power to replace bugs with things that keep the environment functioning, right? So, in other words, it's free to remove whatever bugs we want to. So, by default, we're going to get rid of every bug, and what we're going to do is we're going to parse that down and save specific bugs, right? None of the thorns have done damage to me here. However, I do know there is thorn damage. I just haven't encountered it yet. So, what bugs do we keep? Now, we've already decided to keep butterflies. That's actually my niece's request. And we've already decided to keep ladybugs. Let's see what kind of distance we get here. Oh, looks like it's not going to be that much. Also, does it have a finite amount? It does, doesn't it? It's not refilling. I'm going to have to get another one of these soon. Oh, well. Honeybees? Again, remember, the goal here is that we can magically replace their function if we get rid of them. So we could still have honey, even if we got rid of honeybees, for example. So why do we keep bees at that point? Now I'm not trying to be obstinate. I'm asking a legitimate question. You know, sell me. What's the goal of keeping bees? Have fun. And our inventory is crammed. Let's get out of here. You know what's funny is I would assume the honey would actually taste better. I hate stink bugs. We need to kill a stink bug at some point. Hi, Spartan. So this is a that's actually a good question. This is something I was thinking about recently because some of you may or may not know I've been playing Satisfactory lately as one of my co-op games. And you're probably thinking, why are you comparing the two? Because they're two very different games. Satisfactory is a build game. The entire point and purpose of the game is to build. And making the interlocking systems and all that fun stuff is kind of the idea. This is build survival. It's kind of both. So half of the gameplay is focused on the survive aspect of things. Half of it is focused on the build side of things. And then there's games that are pure survival. And you get the kind of the gradient there in between build and survival. And a lot of these types of games tend to sit somewhere on that gradient. You know, Factorio does have a bit of survival, but you don't have to worry about things like sleep or food. Whereas you do have to worry about some enemies and, of course, the escalating attacks. Satisfactory has no survival elements whatsoever. The enemies literally can't attack your base, and if you die, all you do is drop your items. And then this is substantially more focused on survival rather than build. There's certainly some build stuff, as you can see by our base over here. But the build stuff is a little bit less emphasized than the survival stuff, and so forth, and so on. And yeah, as you can see, there's the lily pad farm that is our base here. Let's sort our inventory real quick. So first and foremost, before I do anything else, I'm going to make the last piece of the ant armor. Which I can't make because I don't have the right ant parts, so never mind. First and foremost, we're going to put this, and we're gonna make some food. Okay, 7 Days to Die. There's a game I've actually been wanting to play, but never have because it's not out yet. Also, I don't want to play it alone, so there's that. It's adorable and horrifying. That's going to be my take on that. Got that in there. Ah, yeah, early access for the lose. I get why some games do... Adorifying! I love that. I get why some games do early access. There's even a good logic behind it, but... There's a reason I tend to stay away from it for the most part. Which I know what you're about to say, but you're playing Satisfactory. Yeah, there's actually a story to that, and I gotta share that with Axe at some point when we get there. Yeah, it's got that Hollow Knight thing going for it. This game actually can be extremely, extremely unforgiving, or it can be relatively chill. The gradient of the difficulty options are legit. I'm actually rather happy with them. Can I scoop more, or am I full? Nope, I can scoop more. What's the storage of this? Capacity. 2 scoops. It can carry 2 scoops. Okay. It actually does say on the tooltip. That's important. How much did this cost? Like 20 bucks, I think? I don't know. I bought Grounded like 2 years ago, so I'm not sure what it cost at the time. Okay. I need to make... ant armor. I need to make ant armor. That means I need to go kill some ants. Obviously, the spear is probably fine for ants. I need ant parts. I believe I need 2 ant parts. No other players at the moment, no. I invited Rax to join. He said he hates me and he'd rather die. Okay, there's 1. And I don't
Watch where
think
you stick
Primarch
that nose,
is on
people.
today. Excuse me, I don't think Maverick's going to be on today. Primarch might be on today. And we never figured out a thing with Bragwin, which I suppose is as good a time as any to bring up the thing that we mentioned at the end of the last session. Something DJT already mentioned in chat just a minute ago. So, the multiplayer in this game is wonky. It is irritating and frustrating to get working because it sits on the Xbox Live services, which is irritating and wonky. Now, this is something we will have to establish as precedents. Do we ding a game for bad matchmaking, is what this boils down to, or irritating matchmaking, given the fact that it's not really in the game, it's just the game sits on something else and therefore is mandated. And yeah, you can see why this is kind of a question. Because on the one hand, you know, logically speaking, this is absolutely the game's fault. The game decided to use the Xbox Live system, and the game decided to use their matchmaking services, and therefore the game gets dinged for it. But on the other hand, it has nothing to do with the game itself. In fact, I literally cannot invite people in-game. It is impossible for me to invite people from within the game. I actually have to open up this Xbox app in order to be able to access and get people on my friends list. And so, yeah, discussion, go. Because we do need to decide how we're going to think about this. Because this will affect other games in the future. Okay, so now we have our third ant suit. Yeah, let's just set these up a little better. So people knew. And there's the other ant suit. Perfect. Okay, so we have 3 ant suits now. And yeah, that's a good question. Like, do I ding Saints Row 2 for the fact that its multiplayer was always garbage? And that I can't even get it working now without a third-party program? Ironically, this is our precedent setter, J. Palmer. Ah, this is the game we're going to be setting precedents on. Oh, my elbow does not like me today. Yeah, that's... I mean, obviously everything's going to be case by case, but we do need to decide if this is on the table at all, effectively. Is it crossplay? Yes, we have established this does have crossplay. That is most likely why they use the Xbox Live system. It's because someone on an Xbox can play this with me on PC. And you know me, I am in favor of crossplay. And the multiplayer is definitely getting some pluses, no question, because it's pretty good multiplayer. It sits very heavily on party-based. So the overwhelming majority of the game is party function. Obviously, we have individual water, health, stamina, and food bars. Yeah, no kidding, prisoners. But you know, the science is group, the recipes are group, the resources are group, quest progress, group, etc., etc., etc. So, like, if you've beaten the game and you join my game, near as I can tell, I need to add an asterisk here. Near as I can tell, you will be set to my status in terms of progression and unlocks because it's group, right? And the group is set for the server. And that's how they do multiplayer. That's all done. How many arrows can I make? Not that many, because of Might Fuzz, but we'll make a few. Looks like those stack up to 20. Yeah, exactly. Crazy Norse. How many times have you had to do a quest in an MMO multiple times because it didn't share? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling one negative. Again, it's a little weird in this specific case, but I do feel like the fact that the only method of engaging in a major aspect of gameplay, of a game designed to be played with 4 players, and with good co-op, being the Xbox, is problematic. Hi, Bamber. I think there's worse. That's why it's only one negative, but I do feel like a negative is warranted here. I mean, I still haven't been able to get Break one on my friends list, for God's sakes. And it's not like Archie and Gaia is a really common name. You know? It should be pretty easy to find. Okay, so... we now have arrows and ammo. It's the only way, Spartan. What do these take? Weeds and clover and sap. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been leaving the in-game music on because it's part of the review, is to review the in-game music. I'm not sure if it's negative-worthy, but I'm not super impressed with it yet. Looks like the water doesn't go bad. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to store a full water canteen in there. And start filling up another one. Start storing water. Almost like this is a real survival game. There we go. Alright, it's almost wolf spider season, so... I know, right, Crazy? I mean, that's why I did that, Crazy Norse. The whole goal was to make it so people could actually find my channel and my, you know, job again. It's like... oh, it's gonna go bad first. Although that would be interesting if that ladybug is still there when the spider comes out. Yeah, let's think about this. So we've got music absence / utilization. And we'll put that in a question mark right now. Because there is a thing that they do with the music that's actually pretty good. And it's very simple. It's how you know if you're in aggro. You can tell an enemy is in aggro with you because the music will indicate it. I don't know about Wolfenstein. I've never tried. My Xbox account is a very, very old grandfathered Hotmail account from, like, 2005 or something like that. It's not quite Yoshi drums, but it is a similar concept. I forget what it's actually called. It's not dynamic music, it's... or maybe it is dynamic music. But yeah, it's music changes based on event. Whatever the hell that's actually called. Now, see, now I gotta go actually see when my Hotmail account was founded. Hang on, let's figure this out real quick. Because now you got me curious. It's been the one Hotmail account. I've only ever had the one. Alright, how old is this? Yeah, that's nice. Cancel. What's the oldest email I have on record? Yeah, it looks like you beat me. Darn. My Hotmail account actually dates back to 2003. It's not that old. That actually makes a degree of sense. I'm pretty sure I had a AOL account before that. And 2003 would have been right when I got back to living in civilization from being homeless. So that makes sense. That's probably the first account I made when I got back to, you know, having a place to stay. I'm gonna stay the night. We'll just drink straight.
At least it's clean. Ish.
And we'll have the one that's most rotted, which is probably that one. Alright. Let's go exploring, shall we? So we've got some we've got some arrows, we've got armor. I probably shouldn't actually have on me. I'll put the armor there for right now. Got a little extra water. What we don't have is torches. That's fine. Torch plus. Hey, Torch plus. We'll make 2 Torch pluses. We're getting full here on our hotbar, aren't we? Is there a way to... Nope. Let's unequip that for the time being, then. Oh, no, I guess we still have it equipped. And we don't need that equipped. Or that. So, let's add these down here. Maybe. Crazy Horse, maybe. But I have a much better idea. Let's be insane. Wait, hold on. Let's make sure. Yep, okay, we're good. I guess I can check this way. We are an ant. Yay. At some point, we are going to have to get some ant eggs. I don't know what they're good for, but they exist, and therefore they're probably good for something. I know it's Spartan. You secretly hate my streams now. Ah, it's okay. I accept it. My streaming is terrible. But I do hope you have a good day, Spartan. I actually did get a comment just last week about how, oh, God, you know, my streams have just gotten so much worse than they used to be. Now, hang on. They gave a reason why. So, bonus question. What do you think the reason is they gave for why my streaming has gotten worse rather than better? Oh, this is a lot of dry grass. And a spider. I love spiders. Because they're shorter. Oh, wow. That didn't even occur to me. That would be awful. You should stream more. I mean, I do have people, as recently as, at this point, last week, who told me I should stream more. So that's a valid guess. But no, that's not this specific one. Spiders. Getting sidetracked in discussions. Too negative. Actually, kinda, yeah. That's not quite the button, but we'll go ahead and give that to Umbral Magnus. So, the reason they gave that the old streams were better was because the old streams was just me talking about how much I like video games. Nowadays, I try to review video games, which means good and bad.
Spotted a soldier ant.
So,
We've got a soldier ant over here.
I like going in here. Hello, Mr. Soldier Ant.
Just give me angry ant chopping around over here. Hello, powerless ant.
Me. Okay. So let's do this.
Scrabble along, comrade.
I gotta be real, the thought of doing this without the red ant armor is kind of terrifying. Like, you notice there's durability on weapons, but it's really, really high durability, which is why I haven't dinged it yet. Like, that's the same spear I've been using the entire game, and it's not even at half durability. I have a feeling I would run through my spear's durability, or my hammer's durability, going through here. If I didn't have the ant armor. I'm also pretty sure ants spawn, so that's a thing, too. Okay, so there's the pool. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead. Get some air. Pause. Head back. There's something over here. There's something over here. Take some air. Pause. Head back. Hey, Primarch. I wonder what a slime torch actually takes. Stuff I do not have. Damn. Oh. Kind of. I can see the outline of where I'm going. It is not easy to do. But I can tell, for example, there's an alcove over there. Here's the main way forwards, because it's pretty bright. But there's also an alcove over there. But until I get some stuff, I don't think I can do that, so I'm not going to bother. So, let's go ahead and start walking away out of here. Grab some marble. We still don't have a use for marble or quartzite, but I feel like I will at some point. There's the hole, which we will now drop into. Oh yeah, I meant to actually come back here with a level 2 hammer. That was like specifically something I was working on. What stopped me? Berry leather and stink bug parts. That's what was stopping me. Well, that's fair, Larry, and I do know there's an interesting divide in opinion, because some people prefer it when I'm playing a game I like, and some people prefer it when I'm playing a game that I'm just tearing into. And that's just kind of its own variance there. That being said, I will say most people, like, I get those two types of comments all the time, the two I just mentioned. You know, a type of comment I do not get is...
What's the news?
Is that they like watching me go through a game that's frustrating.
Hey, Ant.
You know, a time waster or a bland or boring game.
Scrabble along.
Very rarely do I get someone saying, "Oh man, I love those streams."
Hey, Ant. What's the news?
No, people like it when I'm ripping a game a new one or absolutely gushing about it, and not a lot of the in-between. We're invisible until it's like standard invisibility rules, right? If we interact with them, we're screwed. Like, seriously, if I start attacking them right now, I'm probably dead. So, we're just another ant walking through,
Scrabble along,
like all the other ants do. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. But, yeah, that's why there's probably going to be an audio spam negative. Hi, Evo. You like ants, right?
Scrabble along, comrade.
because they're blocking my way out right now.
Angry ants tromping around over here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's becoming an actual traffic jam. Oh, my God.
Hello, powerless ant. Scrabble along.
Oh. Okay, traffic jam resolved. Traffic jam resolved. Sort of. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you.
We've got a soldier ant over here.
Yep. Please shut up. Ants actually don't bother me in the same way, obviously. Otherwise, I'd be freaking the crap out right now. However, I do hate ants and think that they're definitely one of the insects we should wipe out. No question. Hello, Mr. Bird. Alright. Let's get some, stuff. Because I need plant fiber on Falkenstein. That's why I came out. I don't remember how much I need, so I'm just going to get a few here. Oh no, ants serve plenty of purpose, but again, the whole point of the question is if we could replace bugs with something that fulfills their purpose, which, you know, that's the point of the question, then which bugs do we not get rid of? And I'm fine with wiping out ants, to be completely blunt. What is that? Because, yeah, no, don't mistake me. Ants are actually incredibly critical to just life existing. I mean, Hazardous, you could probably answer this for me. And yes, Eva. How many different plant species, just plants, rely on ants to survive? Because I have a feeling it's a big number.
We've got a soldier ant over here.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, so Offshore Twitch account asked a question. If I had a golem side of my personality, how would I placate him and try to find common ground in order to get stuff done? So first thing I'd do is I'd be like, oh, look, everything's cool and calm, and I'm not here to kill you, and everything's fine, and then I'd stab him, and then he'd be dead.
We've got a soldier
And once I've killed that part of my personality, everything would be better. Is there like a... No, of course there isn't. There's no shut the hell up option. Whatever, let's go grab the mold. Let's do it in Crazy Norse vision here. Oh yes, much, much better. Much better. Look at this.
Hey, ant. What's the news?
Shut up. Let's see. Have I ever played Spelunky or EDF? EDF! EDF! No, I haven't played Spelunky. Hold on, where are we? This isn't the direction I meant to go in, but this might work out. Okay, I know where this is. I know where this is. Hello, Trihexia. Am I a fan of roguelikes? So, I don't remember the distinction between the two, because of course I don't. So remind me, which one is like, as opposed to light? We really need to come up with a new terminology there. We talked about this during the Hades run. Okay, light is something carries over. Like is something doesn't. Got it. So generally speaking, I'm much pickier about likes. The ones that do not carry anything over. I could probably name one roguelike that I actually enjoy, and that's FTL.
Whoa, it's a giant.
Oh, hi, Primarch.
You did it. I did.
Oh, there you are. Sorry. Do you have your armor? I left armor there for you. Yeah, FTL is the one. It's one of the only roguelike I actually enjoy. There's actually quite a few roguelites I enjoy, because I like progression. And I like carrying stuff over, and I like strategizing, and yada yada yada. Let's see here. So, Yada asked a question about Yada's not here. Latario asked several questions. Hey, Primarch. Still looking for some of the bee armor. Keep finding this larva, but we don't... Oh, hey, there's the shin guards. Wow, timing. So we've got 2 pieces down. Hang on. So let me clear up the queue slightly. Get rid of that. Get rid of this question because we just answered these 2 questions. Yada's not here. DJT's here. Why do people... Oh, no, actually, I answered that. But you did ask, have I played any of the Mario plus Rabbids games? So I actually streamed Mario plus Rabbids 1. It was a problematic game, but substantially more fun than it had any right to be.
Hello, powerless.
I don't think I've been this way. Let's see what's over here. The biggest flaw with Mario plus Rabbids, no joke, was the fact that I couldn't decide my party. That it kind of mandated certain party structure. But the level design was good, and the kit of the different players was good, and the missions were fun, the bosses were fun. It was a lot of fun. They did some good stuff with it. Oop. Très impressed. The hell is that noise?
Hey there, bud.
What
don't
in
want any
God's
trouble
name
in.
is that? Stink bug. It's a stink bug. Well, let's do it. We need to kill these things at some point. Oh god, it's like stuck in the wall. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. It's literally stuck in the wall. Name a game that's less fun in co-op, Evo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run past too. Let me...
What do we have lurking around out here?
This... I think that's literally stuck in the wall. Yeah, just ignore that. Goodbye. Ow, 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 ow.
Damn! Give me a plate of this.
My point, Evo, is that there is such a thing as bad co-op. It's rare, but it's there. But the ridiculous majority of games are elevated by good co-op. This is a new room. Oh, wait, no, this is the whole room. Damn it, this is not a new room. Where's the other B piece? Alright, let's go down to the water. Let's do that, because something needs to happen anyway. So, down. Should honestly grab all the apple bits. It's gross, but whatever. Nah, no cheat. No cheat. We have to at least check out the water area first.
What's the news?
Alright, so let me make a couple of these. Where'd Primarch go? Primarch went ahead. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, no, we have a map. It's just, it's a map, not a... Where the hell are we? There we go. Alright. Hey, Yada. So for the first time ever, we've gone through here several times. We can actually see what's going on down here. For realsies. Watch, there's nothing here. What do you want to bet? We've done all this effort. There's nothing here. Yada asks, White Mage is a regen healer. Actually, that's not quite true, but whatever. Sage is a barrier healer. Actually, Sage is an AoE healer. Is its primary focus. So, what is a Scholar? So, Scholar is barrier healer. Scholar's biggest thing is to set up as many barriers as possible and layer them and stack them to prevent damage being taken. Um, I mean, sure. Sage is a planning healer. I like that. Astrologian is a catch-all. Astrologian can do everything a little bit worse than all the other healers. But that also means an Astrologian can heal every scenario. I actually enjoy Astrologian quite a bit, but then again, I actually like all the healers except for Scholar. I just don't enjoy playing a Scholar. Oh yeah, Astrologian can do buffs too, although those buffs are in need of a rework, in my opinion. Speaking as someone who was an Astro main for quite a while. Oh, these things really do not last long, do they? Oh, well. Alright, Zach Taft just left to do his thing. I can't answer that question. Lord Haramont asked a good question, but at first Lord Haramont's not here. Whoops, I didn't mean to shoot. Unequip, unequip, unequip. There we go. Now to engage Evo mode. Yeah, I think at this point I've had a pretty good idea of a mental map of this place. So I'm either missing a passage somewhere, or I'm just missing the actual part somewhere. Because I've still not found the, I think it's the leggings. Nope, I'm wrong. It would be the chest piece. The Rotten Bee chest piece. Oh my god, eggs can hatch in your inventory? That's brilliant. I love that. So looking for skeletons, because skeletons will indicate armor. Okay, so let me delete this question really quick. Of course, Evo. Lord Haramont's not here. Most terrifying creature in the game so far that isn't a spider. Honestly, so far the stink bugs are up there for me. Have I ever tried the RL Craft mod for Minecraft? I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to go with no. And yes, I need to know an example of a question without intent. Especially since there is no such thing. Oh, there's the Tario. Yeah, let me rewind to... Tario's question. Do I remember the Brockus fight in the cathedral in the first game? Yes! Did I get one-shotted by his meteor storm like you did? Yes. That was my Halloween? Well, I did the whole thing on camera, so... What's it do, Jay Palmer? Given that source magic is the bedrock of the divinity setting, I think we both are in agreement on that. Do I believe the source will return in a future game? Weirdly enough, I hope not. There are other things than Source that can provide magical or mystical effects. We saw that in Divinity Dragon Commander. Hey! I found it! I found it! Found the mask. Although that's helmet. Is that everything? No, that is everything. We did it! We did it! We're done! Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Screw this place. If you want to grab red ant eggs, this is the time to do it. I don't feel brave enough doing that. I'm just going to get out of here. Congratulations on your 3-hour-a-week job, Mr. Red. Big plus. Much appreciated. Okay. In honor of that, I will walk through the rest of this cave in the dark. Okay, so I fell into the hole. I even thought that was going to happen, but that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, no queen in this particular hive. I don't know if there's going to be one in a later hive.
Where are you off to, Ant?
So anyways, what I say in this game will benefit from the voice actors being able to riff more lines. Yes. Or at the very least, you have a wider variety of lines and less activations thereof. Is the Lich King the Vitiate equivalent in World of Warcraft? No. The Lich King equivalent of Tor would probably be someone like Darth Barris or Darth Thanaton. Neither of those work particularly well, but they're as good as I got.
Hey there, buddy.
And I know what you're thinking, but the Lich King's one of the strongest things in his setting. Yeah, but he's well written for the most part. So... We could argue that he's actually the equivalent of the Sith warrior, now that I think about it.
Scrabble along, comrade. We've got a soldier ant over here.
Okay, I'm just gonna beeline back for base.
Big ant.
What you're hearing is the lawnmower. So, that's what that is.
Hey there, buddy.
Science!
Well, I haven't gotten rid of the old armor yet, prisoners. So when I play the Dragon Age block, am I going to recruit Sten? Yes. If so, why recruit Sten but not Hanhar? The idea of comparing Hanhar to Sten is hysterical to me, but we'll go ahead and allow it for right now. Given they both have abhorrent philosophies and commit awful acts. Well, Sten is a character, so that's the first thing he's got going for him. But on the other hand, the other thing is that Sten is both well-written and well-acted. Whereas Hanhar is a psychopath who tends to go constantly. So, from a pure playing a game perspective, there really is no comparison there. Hey! Yeah, Sten likes cookies. Sten is more akin to HK-47 than Hanhar, if we were to use a specific thing. And yes, I know, the actual HK-47 is Shale. But I stand by my statement. Okay, next question. What I say in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, why do they justify Sonic and Shadow not leaving anyone else in the dirt of the track field? I don't know. I've never played those games, so I can't speak to them. However, if you asked me to guess or to come up with an answer, that's easy. They're holding back. They're specifically going out of their way to not go full tilt. Because Sonic going full tilt is, let's be quite clear, pretty damn fast. Hanhar could be well written. He is absolutely terrifying, after all. But, let's do this so we can... Nope, nope, nope.
Light. Burn back the shadows and turn away the inky depths of the night.
There we go. But even if he is, that's still never going to convince me to recruit Hanhar in any playthrough ever. Not just because he's mutually exclusive, but because screw him. What is the wall of bad opinions? It's kind of a Discord joke. It's for people who have bad opinions, aka the most recent example, I think, was Dean Badine, who was like, to a picture of a Star Wars canvas, and so therefore, bad opinion, there you go. You know, that kind of thing. That's another thing. Sten has more content and screen time and relevance than Hanhar does, but I suppose that's just a virtue of Dragon Age versus KOTOR. What's my opinion on the Lord of the Rings mod in the Medieval 2 Total War? That's a good question. One of these days I might actually play Medieval 2 Total War, and then I might be able to give you an opinion on mod for it, which I've never even heard of until 5 seconds ago. Hanhar is from KOTOR 2. Crazy Norse predates it a bit. So, do you have an example, Evo? Because I still haven't heard an example. Like, the problem is, by sheer virtue of what you just said, you're speaking of an intent. Alright, where am I putting this bee gear? Oh yeah, we've also got underwater. Honestly, we probably should try to get the level 2 hammer. There's several things in my mental list that we're just kind of waiting on. Because I don't have a level 2 hammer. Where's the other bee thing? Where did I put it? Yeah, I've been wondering that too, Inosiates. I think it's supposed to denotate time changing. So there's the rotten bee armor. We're going to leave that there for right now. Grab some of this stuff off. I mean, I want it now, though, Crazy Horse. Yeah, damn it. Dump that in there. Put the food over here. I mean, we just need to be able to kill a stink bug, and I think we can manage that, especially with 2 of us. And then we need to kill several stink bugs. See, Takoida gets it. Since I'll never cover DCU due to veto, could you do a 5-minute mini review on it? So I played DC Universe Online for about 4 hours, and I was so bored that I never looked back at it. I was just like, okay. For example, one of the problems is they did this thing where they tried to squash down all the various DC characters into really, really basic video gamey categories, which could have worked if they were designed well, which they weren't. So combat was boring. Then there was the fact that it didn't have any real flavor or fun to the narrative arc that I was going through at the beginning of the game. And put into simplistic terms, the intro sucked. And you know how harsh I am on intros. So, gameplay-wise and narrative-wise, DCU was extraordinarily dull. I've never looked back, and I never will. Alright, and that's true. I couldn't even tell you what I was playing off the top of my head because I don't remember what class, that is to say. Okay, so I've got arrows, and I've got that. Yeah, no, I think we could take a whatcha-fig. Is this making rope? Rope. And yeah, let's kill a stink bug at night. That's a great idea. Let's go to bed. Just sleep.
Anyone else tired? Just me?
Well, I mean, that's kind of exactly it, though, isn't it? I mean, obviously, if I was to ask someone, how's the weather, there's a pretty good chance that the response I'm going to get is a real response that has absolutely nothing to do with the weather.
That was refreshing.
So I'm going to make sure to get one of the rotting foods here.
I'd eat this normally.
In fact, honestly, I'm going to grab another rotting food here. There we go.
Just like a fruit pound.
Drop these in here. Hey, another hymn. Welcome back. Alright, I know where one stink bug is. And I'm going to go ahead and grab... How are we doing on our juice? I'd rather have more of a reserve of that. Let's see if there's any soda up right now. There's some soda up right now. Primarch says we should go back to the Red Anthill. Sure. I've only seen one stink bug over there, and it was in a wall, but I believe you. I'll get some water on the way. Words. So, like, if you ask the universe, what's the weather like? There's a pretty good chance you won't even get an answer to that, Evo. If that makes any sense. Because you're not interested in the answer. And when you ask that of a person, it's part of a social interaction thing. Because, once again, you're not really interested in the answer, right? What you're really saying is, I hope you're doing well, or I feel awkward about this, or I'm just trying to make conversation because I don't really know you that well. And there's all kinds of other options there. So if you ask, you know, the truth, so to speak, if a judge asks such a question, they're probably not going to get any kind of response because there is no response to be had. Make sense? Yeah, it's another... No, you're absolutely right. A lot of people ask questions to start a conversation. Or in passing. Hell, that's a spider. Another example. The smartest thing Philip J. Fry ever said. Shut up and take my money. No, that's a joke. I'd have to actually think about that.
I don't want any trouble, Aunt.
That pop-up indicator indicates there's a nearby base we have not, excuse me, a science stable we have not found yet. Which is what I assumed it was originally. But near as I can tell, there's no indicators whatsoever other than it's nearby. So that's why there's several I just haven't really bothered to try and home in on yet. Because, I haven't watched Futurama in 6 years, and I can put it down specifically because I remember the last time I watched it. It was when I realized that Futurama... Dramatic pause.
We've got a soldier ant over here.
Is not as good as I remembered. Yeah, you heard me.
I don't want any trouble, Aunt.
Hey, Primark, can you... Oh, shoot, there's a stink bug right there. Alright, hang on. Give me a second, Geek Stuffer. Give me a second.
I guess that's why they call it a stink bug.
Okay. Bows feel weird. I don't like how bows feel. Bows are guns. Put it simply. Looks like I can get ammo back to us. That's cool. Give me a second, Geek Stuffer. I swear I'll answer your question. I swear. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's get some of our arrows back. It'll let me. Hello? Game. Jeez Louise. I like how it marks them, too. That's a nice little QOL thing. There's some good quality of life features in this game in general. It's pretty impressive. As I said, there should be some more up here. Yeah, Primark picked up whatever it dropped, though.
Ugh, worst smell.
Let's steer clear of that one.
Oh god, it might not even be here. It just occurred to me. That book might be at my sister's house right now. Alright, hang on. I owe you an answer. Let me go ahead and walk up here so I'm relatively safe. AFK. See if I can find this very quickly. Come on, hurry. I know, Crazy Norse. But I owe Geek Stuffer an answer. The name of the book, found it, is Inside Star Trek: The Real Story. It's by Herbert Solow and Robert Justman. And that's the book I use as one of my primary sources for TOS stuff. For good reason. I lost Primark. Where's Primark? Coming!
Oh.
Primark decided to use the ants. Do not blame. Yeah, notice I'm not even aggro. You can tell because the music isn't the aggro music. Gonna delete that over here. Yeah, that ant armor is so far one of the most useful things I've found in this entire game. Do not like stink bugs. In real life, too, stink bugs are the worst.
Oh, ugh. I guess that's why they call you a stink bug.
Let's see. Who is faster, Sonic or Shadow? Sonic. Shadow has telekinesis, which kind of augments his speed,
Popping around over here.
but it makes Shadow stronger, not faster. That's obvious. Hi, Directy. Why does Talos allow the Dominion to persecute the people of Skyrim for worshipping him? Because they tend to not get involved at all. It's kind of their overall shtick is to not get involved.
Why they call it the stink bug.
See the Elder Scrolls lore run for more discussion about this. Because we talk about it quite a bit. Oh, you've aggravated me. Hi. And you're dead. Okay, so that should be enough parts to, I'm going to let Primarch get all those arrows. These are his arrows. But yeah, we actually discussed that at length during the Elder Scrolls lore run. Repeatedly, it was a common topic point. Okay, so we got Stink Bugs. Hi, Ross. You're welcome, Geekstuffer. It's a good book. I recommend it if you can get hold of a copy of it. It's not expensive, too. Since it's a book from, like, 98 or 97 or something like that.
Big ant, big ant.
I have 3 Stink Bug Parks. I mean, we need 4, right? Hang on, let me just double check this. We're going to want 4, yep. So now we need berries, is what we really need. I only know one place where berries are. Goblins. I like it. So should we go to the one place I know where berries are, or is there another spot where we can get berries? That's a good question, Andrew. I'm not sure. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, let's go get the bombardier beetles then. You told me about that yesterday. In fact, I believe we even have the recipe up in the base. Yep, to the swamp. Just gonna be over there. Well, we walk. What is this? So, yeah, what is the smartest thing Philip J. Fry ever said? Probably will you marry me? Points if you get it. So, if Evo asks a philosophical question specifically to get someone's, subjective interpretation, the truth will not respond at all because it's not a person and can't have a subjective view on things. Yeah. Put simply, yeah. Since Aedra don't get involved, what's the benefit of worshipping them? That's a good question. So the sun doesn't give a crap about you, so what's the point in worshipping it? If that got funded, would I cover Saints Row 2 through 4 via co-op? Probably not, no. As I've talked about many, many times, co-op is a nice bonus feature when it comes to streams and reviews, but I stream on a fairly rigid schedule for 8 or more hours a day, pretty much every day of the week. Most people cannot and will not keep up with that schedule, and that's understandable. See you around, Yada. So, like, occasionally, someone might be able to pop in, and that's awesome. But, not something I ever count on. Bonus points. So the judge's friend finds out they broke their word, somehow. The friend confronts them about this. They immediately kill the friend. You should have left well enough alone. And then they beat them to death with an ant leg. Behold my power. Behold. Die to the might of the judge. I'm out of stamina. Oh god! It had like 1 health left. I ran out of frickin' stamina. Exactly, Latario. So you're starting to understand. Ironically, I don't think I have any band-aids on me for once. I can't use them. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that. And for no reason at all, I'm gonna switch weapons here. The power of the red side of the Force. Okay. You know, I don't actually know if there's friendly fire. Here, Primark, hit me really quick. No friendly fire. Confirmed. A very good question, by the way. Because that changes a lot of things in games. I actually didn't turn it off, on, or in between. I just selected mild. I'm gonna go kill some mites while we're here. Because mites are delicious. Listen, if that judge's friend didn't want to be horrifically killed, maybe they shouldn't have confronted them about saving their pathetic and terrible life. It's not their fault that their pathetic and terrible life was saved. Actually, I guess it is literally their fault.
Those mites are so annoying.
I don't know. I've heard a theory that the sun is actually just a hole in the bubble we exist in, through which magic is pouring in. We don't eat ticks. No, we eat berries. What do we actually eat? Not grubs. I can't even think of what it's called. The thing we eat is definitely that other thing. I just can't think of the name of it right now. But yes, there is a friendly fire toggle. I gotta be real. I'm in favor of options, but I don't understand why you'd ever want friendly fire on for a game like this. Then again, I don't like friendly fire in a game like XCOM, so what the hell do I know? Okay, so we got some... Oh yeah, I discovered the Hedge ascent. That sounds terrifying. You know what? Fair. And again, I'm not dinging it. I would absolutely be in favor of stuff, those kind of things being an option in a game I design. Doesn't mean I understand it. Hell, I don't get porn. Doesn't mean I would get rid of it. There's, Alice Primer. There you are. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I am a little low. And that one's almost rotten, so...
It's pretty good.
Yeah, let's, Oh, I see where we are. Yeah, let's head back. Let's start making some stuff happen. My inventory is almost full anyways. So let's go ahead and walk over here. God, whoever maintained this yard is just such a frickin' filth slob. Hang on, hang on. I've got a voice in my ear. It says that Mr. Red's gonna go watch The Hobbit. Hopefully you enjoy that. To mess with your friends. I mean, that's valid. But that's what games like Magicka are for, where friendly fire is the point of the game. Like, they make it a point of the game, that you're supposed to constantly be killing yourself and your friends. That's how that works. In a game like this? Oh, geez, hot dog. Oh, God, that's so gross. Ugh. This is so gross. And I can't even chop it. Oh, wait, no, I can chop it. What do we got here? Rotten food. And spoiled meat. Gross. A slob. Oh, that's a lot of larva.
The unmistakable sight of a larva.
What's that say? Mama said fight the power. Rap mix.
Gonna have a look around.
Let's see what we can find.
Okay.
Location marked on the map.
Wait, where's the skeleton? Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. Yeah, sure, I can make that run. Da, 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 da.
The unmistakable sight of a larva.
What? Oh, God. Not what I wanted to do. I didn't think it would open a freaking thing. Oh, God. That was extremely disoriented. Disorienting. Just... Hi, here's an inventory menu while you're being attacked. Thanks. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. Let's get out of here. Flee to the... Ooh, there's a convenient hole. I love convenient holes. That'll definitely not lead to my horrific death. Okay, I'm surprised that didn't lead to my horrific death. I was actually expecting that.
Rub time.
Ahem. I haven't gotten rid of the rotten food yet. I just... Don't really have the inventory. I guess I could get more of the inventory. Did you pick up the rest of the rotten food, Primer? I did, too. Glitch fall. Because if you didn't, I don't mind doing it. Okay, I'll go pick it up. I'll go pick it up. I've got a room. I don't want to deal with whatever that is. Get the bombardier. Oh, at least 4 that we know of, Trihexia, because we've encountered 4 skeletons so far. I haven't eaten any of the junk food yet. Because I haven't needed to yet. I've just had other stuff. Okay. So, other answer to your question. So, the friend confronts him and says, "How could you do this to me? You have ruined our friendship forever. I can never be friends with you again. Death to you and to the living." And the friend stops being their friend, and they never talk to each other again. But all of this was actually planned out by the judge from the very beginning. Because they knew that this was going to happen. Of course they did. And they knew that this was the best possible thing for their friend. Because now their friend's going to go forward with a different mentality, meet someone, that someone's going to, fall in love with them, and them in return, they're going to have a happy live ever after. And all it costs is the judge's friendship and happiness, which the judge, of course, being a judge, unhesitatingly makes that trade. The end. Hey, you asked me, it's my writing prompt, Evo. If the only question is why'd you do that, the response is going to be because you're going to die, doofus.
That's not so bad.
And that's the full totality of the response. To which the response would be, oh, okay. So you want to get eaten by a spider? And the response would be, well, no, but, I mean, if it's on the table... Like, yeah, no, we can get eaten by spiders all day, dude. We got this. Where's my bow? Where's my bow? There it is. Oh, God. Ooh, don't they? I mean, that guy's got some health. I think this is a no battle. This guy has some health. That's a ridiculous amount of health.
Just like a fruit pounder.
This is the benefit of the in-game music. It tells me when I'm in combat. And when I'm no longer in combat. Oh, that's the first fly I've seen.
Makes me peeked a new one.
Gnat. Excuse me, that's a gnat. First gnat I've seen.
Having a little peek. Got a new one.
Wait, we haven't looked at ladybugs yet?
Take that, vampires.
Yeah, we cleared the third beam a while ago.
It's no lemon crime, but it's better than nothing.
Repair glue, which we can get from stink bugs. Interesting. Okay, now to head back. Alright, so let's hit the question queue while we're running here. That's the ladybug. I mean, if it's not going to terminate their friendship, then why did they care about that to begin with? You get my point? If you don't care enough to terminate our friendship, then why did you ask me to do this thing that would have led you to die in the first place? That's stupid. No. Unless it's one of those BS tests that people like to do, which honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I probably should have just pulled out my mace and started wailing. But what we probably need to get you a mace, Primarch. Get you a tier 2 weapon. So that's going to be priority number 2 here after we finish making the berry stuff. What is this, von Falkenstein? There is no text on this page. Hang on, so let me see here. Questions.
Hello, powerless ant.
What is my opinion on Beavis and Butthead? I've seen worse. And that's the nicest thing I could say about Beavis and Butthead. Have I ever read a book that made me uncomfortable just by reading it? Yes, but I couldn't name any because I immediately put them down and kind of never went back to them. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that sucked. Plonk. It's one of the reasons I've been trying to get grubs every time I see them, Crazy Horse, unless I'm in a hurry or something. Speaking of which, put that on the fire. But I do have a lot of crap on me. Okay, so... Why, well, how did you know, Takoida? Let's put the spoiled stuff in there for right now. That's probably going to be useful later. Blood pieces do not go in there. Food does not go there. I was just about to ask if the rack was completed because I just realized that. Blood pieces. We need another bud pieces thing soon. There's the stink bug parts. I mean, don't mistake me. I understand that humor is subjective. I get that better than, most people probably do. But, Beavis and Butthead is just... above and beyond. There's worse. Like I said, there is worse. After all, there's Ren and Stimpy. How many of you remember Ren and Stimpy? Oh wow, some of the meat was okay. Thank you for the reminder. For anybody who hasn't done the Halloween event in STO, this is your last day to do anything about it. Oh, I'm sorry, Act. I hope your headache goes away soon. How's your run doing? Okay, so... Oh, I can equip this. Perfect blocks heal me. Damage resistance down. Against down. Interesting. That's an equipment. Was not expecting. Oh god, the freaking assassin. Do you remember when, I forget who it was, but somebody got kidnapped really early into our XCOM 2 run and we didn't save them for like 6 months? Well, like King of the Hill? No, but I don't find King of the Hill offensive. King of the Hill just doesn't amuse me. What the hell's a shield, Crazy Norse? Aren't there immediate benefits when the Dragonborn goes to a shrine of the divines and worships them? It's partially just gameplay, but we know those beings exist. They could be actively blessing us to try and help us on our journey. Probably. Unfortunately, that is a huge amount of up-to-youism, because the Elder Scrolls is. So, as a consequence, your guess is literally as good as mine. If you had to review a game with no in-game story and no end point, do I have a predetermined time I'd play it for? No. We get that question all the time, Bamber, but we actually already have long-standing precedents for how to deal with a situation like that. It's very, very easy. All we have to do is review it until we feel like we're done reviewing it, which I know sounds like duh, but that's exactly what it is. All we have to do is review until we feel we have concluded the review. At a certain point, you will have seen enough of the game to have seen it all. A perfect example, any Civilization game. Those games kind of have an endpoint, but not really, right? So, at a certain point, you've reviewed Civilization, you know what you're doing, you got it. Excuse me. Yeah, like when I finished reviewing Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 in about 2 hours. And the really funny thing about that is I don't mean that as a joke. I really do feel like we had effectively reviewed that game in 2 hours. Thank you, Act. As always. Sure, Primarch, although that's the rotten version. But if you want the rotten version, go for it. I need to make grub armor. It's something I've been thinking about for a while now. So, grub. We're gonna need raw weevil meat. That's gross. Grub vest. I can make that right now. So let's do that. Grub leggings. I cannot. So I need more grub hide, and I need raw weevil meat. I'm gonna definitely go out hunting now when it's dark and death. Yeah, Elite Dangerous would also be vetoed anyways, because any review of Elite Dangerous would be extraordinarily boring. No offense to anybody who likes Elite Dangerous, but a review of that would basically be just a Q&A stream. Like, full tilt. Oh, no, it's fine, Bamber. Never feel bad about that. It's not like you watch every stream I've ever done. I got used to the idea of having to answer questions multiple times years ago, because you have to, right? Like, it's just logic. Not everyone sees everything you do, so if I answer something in the middle of some random Mass Effect stream, I can't expect everyone to watch the Mass Effect stream and that exact moment in it to know the answer to it. So I just get really used to repeating myself. And yeah, there's also new people. Like, we have people who, this was their first polemic stream this year, to give you an idea on that one. Oh, there's a nice weed right here. Excellent. We'll come back to that, though. We want grubs. Grub.
Meals on wheels.
So I'm looking for stuff in the ground. Probably just have this out, honestly. Love this tense music. It's really, helping me out, since I know that there's not only one, but 2 spider territories pretty close to my base, and it's nighttime. So, you know, that's neat. If things are going good, then I'll take that as a positive thing, Larian.
I mean, this is probably what bottled water is.
I mean, you're always welcome here, and it's always nice to see you, but if something good is happening in your life, I'll take that over your presence, you know what I mean? So that's a sleeping spider. No problems there. No worries, no worries. We've never reviewed Freelancer, no. I'm not sure if I'd want to. First of all, I don't think it would hold up that well, sadly. Second of all, and arguably more importantly, I'm not even sure I could get it streamable. It's an old game in the bad way. It's such a damn shame. I love Freelancer to death. And indeed, I call the entire genre of games Freelancer games, but... Anyways. Yeah, Sid Meier's Pirates. A little bit of a different structure, but effectively the same type of game, and awesome for it.
Science!
Whoop, 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 whoop. That's a wolf. That's a wolf. That's a wolf. That's a wolf.
Don't think my go-to spider elimination strategy is gonna be much use on that.
Honestly, a Freelancer 2 that's good, gotta add that proviso, is something I would be so in favor of, I can't even put it into words. It's one of the most underutilized genres of games that exist. How many Freelancer games are there? Like, every time we sit down and think about Freelancer games, we come up with a list of, like, 5.
There's a little baby spider!
And then we have to start branching out into games that are kinda like Freelancer, but not really.
Yeah! Scary baby!
Anything about to rot? Actually, no. Good. Yeah, how's our berry thing going? Oh. Well, we've got the 2 that are currently curing.
Don't think my go-to
I
spider
think
elimination
3 that are
strategy
currently
is
curing,
gonna
if
be
I'm reading this correctly. Harrisoner says, "You're wrong!" but doesn't explain himself. Right. So, I don't believe you, Crazy Norse. Why would you lie to me like this? Again! You're just always lying to me. Why do you do that? Arachnophobia mode is doing its job properly, yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what my understanding was. We put it on the jerky rack, and it will slowly make jerky out of 1, instead of immediately making jerky out of 4. Only... Okay, hang on. So there's the vest. Torch Plus up there. Over there. I've only made the 1? A game where I played as a spider. Well, after I stopped screaming, I would immediately veto it, so I need a Weevil is what I really need. No, Evo. Or, well, let me walk that back for a second. I have never designed any judge that does not work for the Empire. Whether or not that can be a thing, that's debatable. But I've never designed such a thing. Yeah, I think let's go ahead and make it daytime, because I need to get some hunting done, and I am way too terrified to go out there with the wolf spider. How does this game compare with Subnautica? Good question. This game is extraordinarily similar to Subnautica. It's got a bit more personality than Subnautica, but also
Tastes good.
plays a bit differently. But if there was one specific game I was going to compare this to, in order to try and get across what it is Subnautica. Primarily survival, with some building elements. There's actually a campaign, there is a story, there is progression. It's a bespoke world, manually designed, yada, 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 yada. So...
At least it's clean.
there are obviously differences, like the fact that it's more combat-focused, and there's honestly more. There's just more to this game than Subnautica, probably because this is a more recent game.
That tastes surprisingly not terrible.
And this game actually has, and arguably is built for co-op, whereas Subnautica you have to use a mod that barely works in order to functionally have co-op, so... nevertheless, if I was to name the genre of game this is, I have no problem calling this the Subnautica genre. After all, I call it the Freelancer genre and the Grand Theft Auto genre, because of course I do. Let's go find us a Weevil and a Grub. Yeah, I didn't want to roam up towards the tree at night, for reasons I probably don't need to explain. That's self-explanatory. I don't know what else to add to that. I mean, I don't actually know what this game is like with Arachnophobe mode off. I could do that, I suppose, in the interest of testing. I mean, I'm not going to give it a negative, or even if the spiders are dangerous, because it has an Arachnophobe mode. It has the toggle that Dragon Age and Skyrim lacks. So... alright. Let's do it. Let's turn off that mode. What's that? Oh, that's the wolf spider there. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Alright, so, I was gonna go grub hunting and weevil hunting, but, hey, Primarch, let's go kill an orb weaver, huh? I've been debating that Crazy Norse. Hey, it's full. Nice. Oh, actually, sip something. Slurp. Because, I mean, it's not just an Arachnophobe mode, which is good, you know, an absence of a negative, but it's also got that gradient, which I feel is honestly pretty cool. So there's a little spider, a baby spider. Yep, get the ants involved. All part of the plan. That was a baby. That actually wasn't what I wanted. I want a big orb weaver. No, I don't know what you're talking about, Crazy Norse. What's a bandage? Oh, you made the hammer. Hang on, let me redo everything. There we go. Yeah, real talk, I keep forgetting bandages even exist. Use more micro. There's a stink bug. Don't care. big one. We are in story mode. Unless you mean like an easy mode, in which case there is a story mode that just kind of... Well, hello! Yep, nope, okay. Here we go. Yep. Here's your arachnophobe mode turned off right here.
I'm stuck in this web!
Damn it back. Game, you want to start regenerating stamina, please?
I mean, this is probably what bottled water is.
Are there tarantulas in this game? I'm gonna ask that straight up. Be free, fellow ant. Just specifics, Evo. I don't remember right now. I don't remember. I don't remember right now. Brain gone. I'd have to decide how exactly the Earth... I'd have to decide how people think the Earth is destroyed, for example. Just to name one thing off the top of my head. Alright, there's only one thing to do now. Let's see. There we go. Check it out, a fiber... I don't have any plant fiber, I can't make one. Ah, well. Alright, so... let's go ahead and put the bug parts in here. Never, ever think about that again. What I really want is... so that's goggles and armor, so it looks like I need leggings. Which needs grub hide. Right. We need more grubs for that. So we don't have a full suit yet. That's fine. Let's dump some stuff off. Actually, don't have that much stuff to dump off at the moment. Alright, now to continue using the ant bonus, just to bother Crazy Nurse, and for no other reason whatsoever. Slugs? I haven't seen slugs. I've seen a snail shell, but I have not seen a snail. Oh yeah, and I'm turning Arachnophobia mode back on. Because that's not happening. Oh, and thank you, Krensler. As always, I will put that towards dealer's choice. Thank you. Let me jot that down really quick. That's true. Misclick? Hi, Baron.
Let's see what's around. Marking a location.
Why? Okay, you know what? I don't even care. Honestly, no, Evo. They are not. But they're still spiders, and they still eat my face, so... Face eating is not something we here at the Lore Walkers are in favor. Have I ever had an RPG companion hate me?
Take that, vampires!
Yeah! Ah! Yeah!
Okay. Oh, hey. That's partially off the screen. That's cool. And yes, I've had RPG characters hate me. Lindsay. Milk molars only affect me. Oh, that
How can I
sucks.
help you today?
So...
Ah, more chips! Thank you. Hand it over and let us see what
There we
I
go.
can remember. Much better.
So we can increase consumable stack size, resource stack size, and arrow stack size.
Fare thee well, Brick.
Okay, good. Yeah, Mega shares the integral. Yay! Okay, cool. So in that case, let's do... that one. And over here. Let's see. Do I ever have toilet problems? Does it ever get you mad? Because I'm at that point in my life where I hate mine. If you mean toilet problems, yes, I've had digestion problems.
Things to do and people to see.
If you mean like the toilet itself, I've also had bad toilets in my life. Although I've never really like disliked a toilet, as you described. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. And this is why I picked that one first. Literally just doing that. Okay. Although actually while I'm here, that's on the verge of rotten, so let's go ahead and do that.
I'd eat this normally.
Okay, so I have at least 3 other places where I want a Mark II hammer to go use it. So let's go. Let's see. A spot of grub. Spotted grub. There it is. More grub hide. I think I need 4 total for the rest of the thing. Oh. And that's a regular molar, so that's whatever. Do you also get a molar when I get a molar? Like, is that a party molar? Yeah, I hope nobody has any teeth problems. I'm going the wrong way. Pay attention, Mark. Pay attention. In DOS 2, how did your fight with Adramalek go on Tactician difficulty? Remind me who Adramalek is. I have 2 teeth that aren't there. I should have known once I signed off on that silly work order for Scapers Amalgamated. Clearly a front for some sort of internal covert work that I would be signing away my future at Ominent. Well, not if I can help it. If anyone can find a way out of the Thrask nets, it's going to be a lawyer! They'll need me to clean up all the loose ends when they're done anyway. At least it's become more clear why they chose us now. A gaggle of eggheads with esoteric knowledge of what we're meant to encounter. Me to keep track of all this questionable activity, and an ex-military macho man to guide us through an unforgivable hostile territory. Oh, and the intern who sharpens pencils? Carries bags, sits in the dark and talks to ants? Whatever. I'm carrying out my duties as best as I know how, even, especially, without the help of others. Where they went, whether they're alive or dead, no longer concerns me. All I care about is the documentation of whatever this terminated employee has gotten up to, getting back to normal size, and putting all this to rest. So far, I've captured photographic evidence of pilfered and repurposed equipment that is certainly untested in the required environments. First, it was some contraption with a pizza table jammed in the middle. Now I'm hot on the trail of some sort of satellite apparatus. I saw the antennae poke out of the hedges at the side of the dwelling, and today I'll climb up over the exterior power outlet and onto the branches to document it up close. I can already tell I'm going to find some shocking, funny business up there. And there's a picture of equipment, and there's a picture of the hedge. It's over the hedge, though, so... Where am I? I'm turned around. Right, I know where I am. I know where I am. There's a spider. Death to spiders. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Are there... Oh, I already answered that one. Can a judge renounce their powers and stop being one? Ironically, yes, at any time and at any moment. Although if they do, that's permanent. So... That's a good question, Larry. We don't actually know the answer to that one yet. Does anyone remember the weird Spyro trilogy? Legend of Spyro. We played some Spyros on camera, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. What is it specifically about spiders that I find disturbing?
Hello,
Explain it to someone who's not arachnophobic. Alright, so have you ever been in a circumstance where your life is threatened? Actually threatened? This is really easy to explain if you has. Oh, the doctor fight. Man, the doctor fight kicked my ass 10 ways Sundays. You kidding me? Crushed me like a bug first time I fought him. I mean, I can explain what it feels like, Platonia. Hence the previous question. Imagine you're walking along and you feel the life-threatening emotional response to something. And that's kind of what it feels like. That's probably the best explanation I've ever come up with for how it actually feels. No, there is no part 6. You lied to me, Evo! There it is. And yeah, I'll go get the last one. It lied to me, Evo. Or you, I suppose. Or maybe you're lying to me.
What do we have lurking around?
But I don't have it in the queue. The only thing I have from you is a question where you say, because I don't have enough context, which parts of the potential Devourer arc don't fit? And... which do? Oh yeah, speaking of which, Earth got teleported back to its original place in the boring Milky Way galaxy. How close is my guess? Please restart application. Refresh is needed. Hang on, hang on. You killed the bot. Or rather, I need to reapprove it for the company, because this is just the most jury-rigged thing ever. Hairy spiders are worse, though. Like, much worse. That's why I asked if there were any tarantulas in this game, because a tarantula is omega no. It's one of the reasons Skyrim spiders bother me so much is because they are modeled after tarantulas. Oh, trust me, Latario, I feel you. I do. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Camel spiders can go straight to hell, too. And any spider in Australia. Just all of them, really. Not a big fan of that scene, no, Ross. Hell, the 5 seconds of that in the Barkley episode of TNG. No, not Hollow Pursuits. The one where he's afraid of transporting. And there's like 5 seconds of a tarantula walking on his hand. Yeah, that got to me. Hell, 5 seconds is overestimated. It's probably closer to 2 seconds. Here we go. Scorpions don't affect me in that way, which is funny because scorpions are worse than spiders in every way. There's that irrational part of the thing. Because, yeah, scorpions are awful. That's another bug that can just be... I have no idea what the mint shards are for. I'm going to scan one as soon as I get out of here.
Scrabble along, comrade.
Okay, so I think that's everything that was down here. We got the mint place. We got the,
Angry ant over there.
There is one other thing, that's right. Oh, where was that? Is it this one? Yeah, there's still a molar in here.
Angry ant, chopping around over here.
I remember because I was irritable because I saw it, and I was like, why am I coming here without the hammer? And you were like, just do it, Laura, you're dumb. And I was like, but I'm dumb. And you're like, I know you're dumb. And everyone's like, you're dumb. At least that's how I remember the conversation going. Okay, so the judge's friend finds out the truth, but doesn't confront them. We've rewound time. Okay. So the judge rewinds time because they're actually an echo at the same time. Hey. And as a direct consequence, they are actually a little bit lost for once. I mean, I know how to get out of here, but that's not what I care about. There it is. I keep waiting for there to be a snake in this stupid yard, because that's just going to be awful. Okay, that should be everything in here. Let's get out of here. So it's been rewound. The judge finds out the truth, but does not confront them. The judge learns via conventional means, and realizes that the judge doesn't do anything. But how do they feel? Well, honestly, they're kind of feeling like tacos that night. No. Okay, so we're going back to our friend, the judge that has no name and no species and no gender. But this judge really likes tacos. Has decided to feel. Oh, how do they feel? How do they feel? What? No, that's right. Oh no, that is right. That is right. Because yeah, okay. That tracks. Judge Bob. How do they feel? So I'm thinking what they feel is betrayed. Because, after all, how could their friend possibly have figured out what happened without some kind of supernatural powers themselves? Maybe they are, in fact, a judge. Clearly there's some kind of conspiracy on display here. They might even be an agent for the hegemony. No, I'll scan them. Let me scan them. Scan them. Fun fact, Savacom, there was a comic book, a webcomic, excuse me, that once had a character whose grand power was the ability to summon tacos. That was their superpower. And I know that sounds like a joke, but they actually did some really cool and creative stuff with it. And of course, they never went hungry. I mean, that would be pretty legit, right? Just... And... there it is. So we can make a mint arrow now. And something was dropped. Aha! Fungal growth. Yeah, ants don't bother me. Except in Fallout 3, where ants bug the crap out of me, and it's almost entirely the sound. Just that sound. Oh my god. I think it only unlocks some of them, Dakota. I think we have to unlock tiers of science to get the rest of them. So now it's nighttime. So that's cool. Oh yeah, the ability to just summon Cheesecake. Now that's a dangerous power. Because that's a power that would be very easy to abuse. In a bad way. Yeah, let's head back. Let's head back. Let's head back. Hello, Ladybug. Yeah, Eva was going from being a twig to probably still being a twig because she has metabolism, but, you know. Still. She'd be a happier twig because she'd have cheesecake. There you go. Okay, here's a random question. Okay, you have the ability to summon one food item infinitely and perfectly, let's say once an hour. Let's pull that the cooldown of it. Which food item do you choose? Also, if you pick something, it has to be that exact thing. So, like, you say pizza, but you can only make one exact pizza, right? Let's limit the size to about the size of a pizza being the ceiling. So, this is about your volume and mass ratio. And everything pizza, well, that would probably violate the mass and volume ratio. Also, what everything is needs to be a little bit more defined than just saying everything. And then you say sushi, but what kind of sushi? Ironically, I'd probably go with some kind of meat as opposed to something actually cooked. Because if I could just summon meat every hour, infinitely, think about it. Hell, I don't even mind if the meat's raw. You cook. Every time I visit my family, every Sunday, hey, here's some meat. Okay. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving sales. Does that count? That counts, right? You know what's funny? I don't actually like Wagyu beef that much. Pretty sure I'm not alone in that, too. No, that's a super valid answer, Evo. Although, think about it, you could have cheesecake all the time. It would be a particular type of cheesecake, too. You get to choose. Think about it. Think about it. Oh yeah, really good brisket. Alright, I'm gonna go be suicidal. Goodbye. Suicidal. Kill myself. Get eaten by spider. Time to freaking die. Bom, bom, bom. I'm gonna do it in the dark, too. You ready for this? Okay, you know what? That's fair, Evo. I was just about to say, why not just be responsible about it, but we've actually had that discussion.
At least it's clean. Ish.
I stand by my statement. I'd have to think about the exact chunk of meat I'd go with. Probably cow, probably flank. I'm not sure exactly, though. Because then I can make my own ground beef, because, you know, just get it grounded right. I could make my own steak. Hell, I could make my own steak sushi. Ever seen my steak sushi? Or have I ever shown it to you? I guess that's really what this question is.
Science!
Oh, well, we got some science out of it. Didn't we already do that, Crazy Norse? Also, I hear something just above me, which is terrifying. So, it's, oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's a, okay, so, flank steak. So, lay it out, right? So, we've got flank steak. Layer on cheese of your choice. I've found that mozzarella and Parmesan, provolone work well, but Parmesan is the best, by far. So, get a nice layer of Parmesan. And then a layer of some kind of greens. I prefer spinach. Roll it up. Roll it up. Clunk. Cook it in the oven for about 15, 20 minutes. And that is extraordinarily good. This right here? Yeah, we've been in here.
All right, Shadows. What you got now?
What's wrong button? No, I need this button. This button. There we go. Yeah, we've been in here, and we ran into a molar that I couldn't crack, and I was very upset about it. It's really simple, too. I keep telling you, there's really good, simple recipes. That's a good one. Like I said, flank steak. Here it is. Flank steak, Parmesan, and some spinach. And that's all that takes. Oh, Primarch, did you ever determine if you also get the milk molars, by the way? Perfect. That's good. That's actually really good. So far, I've yet to see a single negative to co-op, other than the irritation of joining a co-op game. Which is good, for being honest. Thank you, Shinizaga. If you enjoyed Subnautica, you are absolutely going to like this game. It's a little grosser, but it has more personality. It's definitely denser than Subnautica, for good and for bad. And, yeah, honestly, it's a different type of scary, so whether that's going to hit you more is up to you. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way, Laura. Okay, so since these share... Yeah, different type. That's why I had to change my answer there, because Subnautica and this game actually both scare me kind of equally, just in completely different ways. Real talk, so I was doing a tech test with Subnautica below zero, just to make sure it was working and everything was cool. And just roaming around the starting area underwater was getting to me in the same way it did in Subnautica. In a good way, technically, just... Okay, so honestly, I'm gonna go with the drain. Let's. Whoops, I didn't mean to double up on that, but whatever. That's cool. I was gonna take stamina as the other one, but
Now, where did I leave that?
whatever. Hey, we can get other stuff too. All right, so what do we got here? Couple recipes.
Processing.
Mutation. Excuse me. Sorry. Scanner. Bandage uses less recipes or ingredients. Canteen can hold more liquid. More lungs. Why bandages? I keep forgetting they exist. What do we have right now? We do not have enough for 2 things. That's a damn shame. But I think I'm actually going to go with the 2 1500s either way. And I think I will actually agree with Crazy Horse. What was it? What was the book, Eva? Speaking of which, thank you for the recommendation. I didn't say that. Okay. Sounds like it's behind me. I doubt I'm even halfway through this game. I'm nowhere. No, we still need... Well, actually, we might have gotten it in the interim. Oh, God, there's an in-game chat. Did you know there's an in-game chat? Because I didn't know that. Until 5 seconds ago. So it's legs that I need, right? Yes. I can, at long last, have grub armor. So let's get rid of this.
It's no lemon crime, but it's better than nothing.
So let's go ahead and put on the grub armor.
Putting on some more armor.
I'm actually going to keep the ant armor on me. For honestly obvious reasons. So what's our grub bonuses? Lots more stamina. Much more stamina increase for that. Reduced time it takes for stamina to start regenerating. Nice. And... do I have anything about to rot? Not really. I do have some berry leather. And I don't remember what I needed that for. But... let's go ahead and make nothing. Let's get some... do we seriously not have plant fiber right now, of all things? Where is it? I know there's one wolf spider that hunts. And Evo's gone. Bye, Evo. Alright, screw it. Let's just make it daytime.
Hey, I'm gonna fall asleep standing up if we go much longer.
Which setting would best accommodate a max level D&D wizard with 19 int? You say best accommodate? That's an interesting question. I suppose Forgotten Realms is the obvious answer there. But I don't understand the question. What do you mean by best accommodate? What's one fiction that gets wrong about any mental illness? So it doesn't get any type of mental illness correct whatsoever? Batman.
That's not so bad. Dante's surprisingly not terrible.
But a Black Friday sales always start in November? At this point, habit and tradition, people expect them to be the sales, so people tend to plan budgets and supplies around having those sales then. I'm going to take out these mushrooms, because I've been meaning to for a bit. And then I'm going to make some stuff.
Hey, no one likes a nosy neighbor.
things that I can't think of the name of. Band-aids, that's what they're called. Definitely, not bandages. Really? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you live. Look, I like Batman as much as the next person. Really. Bats is cool when written properly. And even when he isn't written properly, he can be written amusingly. But, accuracy is not what I go to Batman for. Let's see. Oh, hey, Ect asks about the hegemony. Okay, so if you picture an empire, then what you're probably picturing is the hegemony. They are a predominantly militaristic magocracy run by a race known as the Vorsat, and it is the Vorsat hegemony. The structure of the hegemony is very simple. It boils down to that the Vorsat are on the top and everyone else is below them. I mean, that's true, as it is. And so, as a direct consequence, anything, they're not evil in what I would call the strictest sense of the word, but the goal is to make sure that their interests are taken care of, first and foremost. So let's go ahead and make a couple of these. How many can I stack these up? 5, I think. So let's just make 5. Correct, Act. But that's okay, because 100% of Vorsat are mages. They're one of a very small number of races that are so innately magical, it's actually impossible for them to not be mages. I mean, I agree with that, actually. As the city did that best, no question. I'm gonna have to... I need more hotkeys. Let's get rid of this. I don't need that hotkey. And I'll put that here instead. And no, I am gonna do that, Crazy Horse. I haven't really deliberately not done it, although it looks like... What are these? Those are smoothie stations, and there's the grinder. What do we need? So we need weed stems, flower petals, and parts acorn shells. So we need weed stems, which we might have, but I don't think we actually do. Nope. Okay. I'll go get some weed stems for that. Because I know where one is, right over there. There's actually one there, too. They do allow for internal advancement, but there's kind of a cap, a ceiling, if you will, on how far you can advance upwards, based on 2 factors: whether or not you are a Vorsat, and whether or not you are a mage. Obviously, a Vorsat mage can go the highest. A Vorsat can go a certain amount of height, and a mage that is not a Vorsat can go a certain amount of height. An example of magocracy anywhere in fiction that I like? I mean, I like plenty of examples of magocracies distantly, but if you mean like the place I'd actually live in, frickin' hell no. No, there is no slavery in the entire setting, so obviously the hegemony would not employ slavery either. Kinda, yeah, Amelia. Ooh, Dalaran's not a bad example of that. I wouldn't mind living in Dalaran. There's a little bit of a snootiness about them with regards to their magocracy, but snootiness is preferable to the Tevinter, for example, so I'll take that. So Dalaran's a good answer. I like that answer. Give me 1 second, Edward Bedore. I just want to get in here. Thank you very, very, very much for 2 years of support. Thank you. Welcome to the 2-year club. I will jot that anniversary bonus sub Bedore down for Deus Ex Human Revolution. Favorite meritocracy in fiction. My first thought is the... I keep wanting to say the Vicarians. Oh my god, Laura. The Turians. There we go. Just... Um, but yes, no, mageocracies tend to be very similar to richocracies. Just call that what that is. If you are rich, you're good. If you're not, well, it sucks to be you. There's gradients there. Sith empires are absolutely mageocracies. Forceocracies, if you want to get technical with it. Okay, so there's the grinder, which we can use to make all kinds of stuff, which we're using right now. Fiber, awesome. And... alright, so... we can mix stuff. I don't have anything to mix, so I'm not going to bother. What? Alright, I've looked. Alright, now I'm leaving. Forever, and I'm never going back. Never. Never. Death to smoothies. Oh, shoot. Ants are not friends anymore. But yeah, Turians constantly call it the meritocracy. In fact, I believe the actual term for it is the meritocracy. But, how much that's actually valid, However, that still is probably one of the better meritocracies I've seen in fiction. Most meritocracies are awful. For example, it's actually really arguable that the Klingon Empire is a meritocracy. Yeah, let's do that then. This is not what I want. What I want is the other one, which is the other way. Let me just top off my water and food, scan this, and then we'll hit the hedge. There's dandelions on the way. That shouldn't be too bad. Ding. No, I'm serious, Krenzler. They call it the meritocracy. Garrus, go watch the VODs. They call it the meritocracy several times. So that gives us Stinger Spear and Mosquito Needle, which means there's mosquitoes in this game. That's interesting. Thank you, Hazardous, for a direct quote. Alright, so let's head back. Stop torturing Crazy Norse. I mean, I love torturing Crazy Norse, but, you know, you gotta hold back sometimes, right? What are my thoughts about the setting for this game? Well, we don't know much about it yet, except the fact that it's Obsidian plus Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So I don't really have any thoughts about the setting of this game yet. I'm still thinking about it. Alright, so... let me go ahead and put the spare ant gear right here for right now to free up some inventory space. I've got spare water. I've got arrows. I've got something I don't need to have in my inventory. Twice, actually. Let's dump off the chunk and that. We're going to look at smoothies really quick, so Crazy Norse doesn't go crazy. So yeah, up at the upper top there, we've got recipes. Human food! Which takes fresh cookie sandwich bits, so this is definitely Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and fresh apple bits, which we actually have, and the one Hilly Hog Bite, and that gives us plus damage resistant plus heal. One of these we can actually make... oh, we can make a lot of Fuzz on the Rocks. Green Machine we can make a lot of too. Hyper Stamina plus healing. We can also make Fluid Flippers. Only... oh, no, we can't. The ant thing is useful, but I think we'll make a couple of these. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay, just making sure I'm understanding it correctly here, so... 4. There we go. Got some smoothies, got some bandages, got some weapons. Let's hit the... let's get some food. Get the cookery. That's gross. Get some water.
This is probably what bottled water is.
Get some about to expire food. There we go.
I'd eat this.
I'm good. You good, Primarch? I lost Primarch. He's already left. Alright, well, let me save then. Yes. There we go. In case this is a terrible, terrible idea. It's It's also sunset, so this is the perfect time to go to the Hedge. Have I ever watched of Danny Phantom? I've heard of it, but I've never watched it, no. Look, if you could find me on the frickin' Xbox app, Luke, I'm down for you joining, really. That's the problem we're running into. Any questions I haven't answered? Oh yeah, so more about the hegemony. Economic policy. So, one of the reasons I mentioned the hegemony is a more typical empire. So, the empire builds out. What I mean by that is they focus on resources and development on the core worlds so they can focus on resource and development on the border worlds so they can focus on resource and development on the outer worlds. And the idea is to effectively push the core outwards constantly. Does that make sense? So in other words, the Empire is all about building up infrastructure so they can build up infrastructure and developing outwards as they go. The hegemony is kind of the opposite. There's also apparently some Battletoads in this game I didn't know about. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. But the point is to eventually develop the frontier as well. That's the whole goal there. By contrast, the inverse of that is the hegemony. The frontier will be developed enough in order to profit off of it, in order to invest entirely on the central worlds. So you're not really supposed to live or settle in an outer world in the hegemony. You're supposed to live and settle on the inner worlds. Now, you can work on the outer worlds, in fact you have to, in order to develop them and profit off of them. But the outer worlds exist to feed the inner worlds. Make sense? Like I said, a little more typical imperial approach. Hey, grass. You know what I mean. Not sure what this would be qualified as. I'm sad now I missed out on Battletoads. Oh well.
Light. Burn back the shadows and turn away the
Damn it, I
inky
keep going for the
depths of
waypoint. Shoot, I lost where Primark is. There. Oh, it's in the middle of the pond? Hang on.
Ever wonder what the inside of a soda can's like?
Nope. About like this, it's pretty boring.
Wow.
Yeah, all state-run, obviously, Act. The state, well, there it is. There it is. Okay, I'm happy now. The state, when I say state-run, I don't actually mean that literally. What I mean is that the thing does the thing. Give me a second. Give me a second. You... Okay. The state offers out... I'm trying to think how to explain. Corruption? Does that answer it? Because people who stop serving their term of office in the government are usually then placed in high-scale positions at the mega corporations. And they're all Vorsat. All the mega corporations are run by Vorsat at the top. And people who do very well just below them. So let's say let's use United States equivalent. Let's just assume that you, Crazy Norse, have just finished your tenure as a senator. You've been a senator for 6 years. Let's assume you're not a Vorsat for a second. So you've done very well for yourself. So you're not going to be put into a position of super amounts of power because you're not a Vorsat. However, you will be given options to get a nice cushy retirement job effectively as a major executive at Apple, for example. And then that's kind of your retirement, is that you are in charge of that. Obviously, you have direct connections to the government, hence the point. That's why I say they're not really state corporations on paper, but they tend to lean that way. Clovers, that's what I'm missing. This is going to be over here. Yep, there. Okay, a little closer to land. A little closer to land. Yeah, it should be enough for 2. Yep, okay, cool. Yeah, clovers are a weird bottleneck considering how many there are everywhere. I have noticed that, Crazy Norse. In fact, that goes back to that whole bespoke overworld design thing I've talked about several times. Okay, so where's the real Primarch? There it is. I think. It's a little hard to tell right now. Other major dangers besides spiders? We haven't really met anything that I would consider a major danger yet. When we do, we will die to it. Alright, so. Let me go ahead and get a couple of lean-tos going. Stop constructing. There we go. Really? We can't sleep for 3 hours, Crazy Norse. I can't sleep for 3 hours. That mechanic sucks, by the way. In fact, I actually dislike that mechanic. I'm not even sure why that's a thing. Like, why can't you sleep until it's been long enough? That's a weird mechanic. It's a weird limitation. Alright, whatever. Where am I? God, I can't even see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, do I have my dandelion equipped? That's a good point. I have my dandelion equipped. That means that I'm the one who's going to fall, because... No, that means actually Primarch's the one who's going to fall, because that's probably how that works. You're like, I'm fine. Ugh. Oh, there it is, God. I did not see that.
The Kinder Science lab modules have not held up as well as anticipated. I thought hiding these lab units in the hedge would provide a bit of protection from my rampaging children. But it appears not even the sanctuary of these leaves can protect my work from an errant flingman disc. The subsequent breaches in the lab structures have invited...
Oh, okay. Is this just my life now? Do I just have this subtitle up forever? Hey, there it goes. I just... Okay. Yeah, hang on, let's...
The Kinder Science lab modules have not held up as well as anticipated. I thought hiding these lab units in the hedge would provide a bit of protection from my rampaging children. But it appears not even the sanctuary of these leaves can protect my work from an errant flingman disc. The subsequent breaches in the lab structures have invited all manner of arachnid invaders to wander in. My plan is to recalibrate the tasty bots for defensive action. A stopgap solution, to be sure, but I've no time for repairs, not when I'm so close to unlocking the mysteries of raw science.
Okay. Thank you for finishing your dialogue, sir.
Oh, those little spiderlings look so delicate.
What little spiderlings? Oh. I love where this music's going. That's a lie. I don't love it at all. No.
Ha yeah!
Oh my god!
Science!
If only chemistry class was this easy.
You know, I kind of called that, too. You just mentioned redefining these things for defenses. That tracks.
Verbal transcription unit 87.10.25. Order number 73.
I find it a wonder that the Burgle Mark IVs never caught on. I believe them to be far superior to the Mark IIIs. Those never lived up to my expectations.
How's that?
They can only calculate post-cooking burger weights to the nearest tenth of a pound. And they only had enough memory for one seasoning module, salt or pepper. All solved with you Mark IVs, not to mention your most excellent mustaches.
Thank you. I will never forget this moment.
Frequent spacer use is putting drain on cell volume supplies. Recalibrate surveyor system to focus on needed components. Save new location profile and upload to Tasty Units 9 and 17 for extraction. Results, failure. Numerous system errors, unknown interference during scanning progress, likely radio waves of some sort. Possible sources, neighbor, the kids, or ominent. Dun 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 dun.
Science!
Increased radio wave interference in the yard, isolating a single source unsuccessful. Interference uses a broad roving spectrum of frequencies. Wrote code to alter surveyor frequency every 5 seconds, keeping it hidden from this mysterious static. Result, success. Surveyor system reboot complete. Tasty units not used for guard duty have received the profile upload and are currently en route to their harvest targets in the yard. Note, tasty units used for field acquisition are showing signs of wear and tear, rust being the most prevalent. 19 unknown radio signals were spotted during the radio reboot process. Points of origin were not at fixed locations. That rules out the kids and Mr. Henderson. All signs point to ominent. Increasing security protocols on all lab facilities. Installing biometric scanners where needed. Cute. I like how the option here says pull ... question mark. Correct. It should be Archie and Gaia. We have found 4 so far, Grizzlers.
Scabby. Surveyor connection established.
Okay.
survey stations to scan for analyzed materials. Visit additional stations to expand the survey network.
You know what's funny about that, Kay? I have so long since disassociated myself with that name that if someone were to say, hey, Archie and Gaia, I wouldn't even, like, it wouldn't be the automatic lookup of, huh? Because it wouldn't occur to me that that's me. I'd have to think about it first. Part of that's probably because I was never Archie and Gaia, so that actually makes sense, but still. Well, the surveyors are on, so that's cool. We'll have to play with those once we get down from here. First, we'll do a blind jump, because I think that's the best option. Night's lasting longer than I thought it would. Oh, spider eggs. Very cool. One of my favorite things. Damn. Okay. I'll grab this.
Science.
Get your science here.
For so long, I have felt taunted by the spiders of the yard. Climbing, crawling, skittering with the greatest of ease. Oh, and how they delight in violating my workspace. I can't take a single step without getting stuck in their confounded webbing. I'm wasting daylight, running, climbing, surviving, traversing this broken lab. The entire yard, for that matter, has become untenable. But perhaps my spider friends hold the key to my problems.
Just need to make more of them. Wait. Is that everything? And yeah, we've added another range there. Yeah, spider friends. As if. Oh, hey, there's a dandelion. I'm gonna stand right here so you know where the dandelion is, so you can
Just
mark
give me
it.
a second to let my eyes adjust to that.
I'm just gonna put away my torch for a second and stand here in total darkness in a hedge surrounded by spiders. Okay, okay. So I'll just take it. And let's see here. Questions. How much courage does the Dragonborn have? Well, that's up to you, isn't it? By definition, the Dragonborn's personality is entirely up to you. That's sort of the point of an Elder Scrolls game. So, whether the judge is courageous or insane, suicidal, desperate, brave, unchanging, emo, everything, anything, that's all up to you. That's sort of the point. Well, I do love gigantic, scary spider lairs. They're one of my favorite things in fiction. So, that should be delightful.
Can't move.
Is this down? We don't want to go down. We want to go down. Got it. Okay. Hang on.
Yo, that's a new Flingman Quasar X.
What is?
Bet I could spin that sucker all the way to Miss Marlowe's yard.
Oh. It's a frisbee. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me see if I got the request. Get rid of my everything because this is dumb. I got Bragwin, which is funny. I think I found it. It's got a picture of, like, a person amidst a space background kind of a thing. Does that sound right, Loke? Okay. Let me add that there. I'm just glad I was... So that's Bragwin and that's Loke. Yay! We actually added people. Holy crap. Okay. Where am I? Very true. I've also lost Primarch. Primarch is dead! Oh, Jesus. Orb weavers are annoyed by you. Okay, okay. I ask myself the same question every day, Hazardous.
Don't look down! Don't look down!
What is that? That looks like a cable. I'm leaving the science so you have someplace to aim for, Primer.
Today, Trudy asked, or rather insisted, I take a break from my work for a family day. I'll admit the argument that preceded my reluctant agreement was one for the ages. She just doesn't understand how important the work is. But in the end, all was not lost. As fate would have it, our little trip to Stormin Beach's Wave Park has given me fresh inspiration. A particular attraction sported a zip line over an undulating pool filled with sun-baked tubers, basking in the light of the cruel sun that baked them like red raisins. But I digress. It was the zip line that captured my imagination. Such an elegant solution to my problems in the hedge. When we got home, it was straight back to work. After another argument, of course.
The month and day, Loke. You know, I've never understood why crazed scientists who are obsessed with their work ever get married and have kids. Like, you're a crazed scientist who is in love with your job. Why do you have kids? Why do you have a wife or a husband? I've never understood that. Fiction leans on that line a lot, and has for years. Where does it even come from? I only care about my work, but first let me spend a few years of my life doing other things. If you're obsessed with your work, obsess with your work, damn it. Be a loner. What is that?
Science.
Let's see what we can find.
I'm just saying, if you're the type to get obsessed about something, maybe don't get married? I don't know. Random thought. Stop contributing to the gene pool while we're at it. Oh, that's you. I heard something land right next to me. Oh God! What is it? What terrible nightmare beast could it be?
test runs on the zipline system have produced mixed results. Prices on steel cable are ridiculous, so I've been forced to proceed with my original idea, spider thread. I'm using web samples from my unwanted guests with a few clever alterations, of course. Things were going well until Sarah threw yet another toy into the hedge. I swear that the lost city of Atlantis might be found beneath the roots of this blasted bush. I told them both, no baseballs, no flingman discs, no more throwing. I'll need to find a way to strengthen the zip lines, and I've forbidden the children from playing in the yard, temporarily, of course. Dinner will be, I would say, awkward, I suspect.
No, admittedly, I don't know how that works, Hazardous. Okay. Well, that's a positive sign. There's a lot of webs in here.
I'm trapped in a web!
Listen, nobody likes Doom Caves, okay?
Damn, give me a plate of this.
Alright, speaking of which,
Slowly, my torments come together into one ingenious solution. After trying countless materials, I finally found something to fix my zipline problem. While the bonding formulas were complex to say the least, I've successfully fused the web ropes with raw science. Once again, it proves to be the key. The new ropes are miraculously soft, but have the tensile strength of forged steel. I've dubbed my new creation Zippy Fiber. Just think of the practical applications. Oh, only something without gums would suggest that. This is not some trifle to pick parsley between trips to the periodontist.
I will take your word for it, Dr. Tully.
I don't think this guy might not even be sane. I don't know. It's the vibe I'm getting. Oh god, it would be funny if that's actually true, Hazardous. After all, he infused a rope with science! Excuse me, raw science. Gotta make sure the raw is there. Sorry, so someone asked, would I ban this game if not for the Arachnophobia mode? Not only would I did, past tense. This game was banned. Until, they revealed Arachnophobia mode. Interesting. Let's go back in for now.
Tastes good.
The password is 1102, Loke.
Science!
Get your science here.
I don't have a death wish!
Apparently I do. That was weird. Can I... There we go. Listen, get out more or die. Take your pick. No, I haven't really been doing it on purpose or not on purpose, if that makes any sense, Crazy Horse. I've not been preferring night, day, or in between.
I walked into a spider web!
Transcription unit 89.10.5. Order number 20.
Burgle, did you organize my research notes on the material properties of the hedge berries as I directed?
Nice. Well, no.
Good. Wait. Explain.
I have logged 110,437 different algorithms for organization and compiled them into an alphabetical list. That menu is being printed now and should be ready for review in approximately 12 weeks. After that is complete, I will be able to organize your research notes based on the algorithm you select.
Well, let me know when it's done then.
Let me answer your question, Kay. Any questions, Kay? I'm now red with the orb weavers. That's cool. I'm not sure what that actually means. We'll find out at some point. Oh, hey! Loke got in. Hi, Loke. Listen, you don't have to sit here, straining your attention in 4 different directions, while simultaneously dealing with giant spiders who are trying to eat your face. The moment you do that, you can judge me for deciding not to want to do that. I suppose you can judge me anyways. What? That's your purview. I'm ready. I'm ready to be judged.
That's a quick little fella. Kind of cute, too.
I don't know why teeth.
I'm stuck!
I really don't. Milk bowler. Sorry. I mean, they're buffs in game terms. Okay, so did we already go down there? No, we didn't go down. So there's down there, and there's over there. Is there a way back up here? What, the door I was at earlier? Stay over here, of course. Why? Well, I'm asking you... Oh, right. You mean yes. Let's just test it. Let's see. How long do I think it took for the scientist to kill himself? Honestly, at the first moment he encountered something he couldn't deal with, he probably died horribly. Just horribly. Screaming. Okay. This is apparently Weaver territory. We're just gonna accept that. Throw the dandelion here if you need one from her. Initiate mixer overdrive. Sure.
I think we're under attack.
That thing does not have much health. Is there a way to repair it? Nope. Just hurry up, please. Two orbs. That's cool. I was about to say, is this a one and done? It is, that kind of sucks. More orbs. Shoot, 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 shoot. And it's destroyed. Ow. Yeah, we got some spider parts. That's cool. Where's my spoilers? Back to exploring. No. I'm probably playing with you right now. You.
Oh, stuck in this web! This is a lot easier than that.
Now let's review the progress of the last few months. I am getting ever closer to perfecting the spacer. Raw science containment has been a success. At last measurement, we are within 0.2% translation accuracy, but those final infinitesimal bits have proven the most difficult. Despite that, Virgil and I have been able to transit the miniature world without incident. I must admit it has been a bit overwhelming of late. Between school, reading papers, nightly working abroad, and this summer heat, I feel stretched. Some nights I find myself too exhausted to work on my experiments. All this is going to give me gray hairs. I mean, why, just the other day, Trudy said that the stress is putting new wrinkles on my face. She may have a point about the hair, though. As much as I'm loath to admit it, it does seem to be thinning. Perhaps it's time to dig out the steady cream and try it on myself. I'm sure it's in a bin or box around here somewhere.
You're on, Primarch. Thanks for joining us as usual. Really, Kay? Well, I'm afraid I am now required by law to kill you.
Smells worse than the locker room after double practices.
Yeah, I saw the feather.
Smells worse than the old bathrooms on a hot day.
But I was told to check out this hole, and so I shall.
Sick just thinking about it.
No,
Except you say it's
that's
up.
Definitely that bug over there.
To the feather. Bum, bum, bum. Just loot this feather here. Oh, I actually can.
Ah!
Inventory is getting extraordinarily full, so I'll probably do a run back soon as well. Those are NPC. Those are NPCs. Those are players. Those are people. I haven't encountered a single NPC in this game that wasn't a robot. We all know robots aren't people.
Meals on wheels.
Well, we're about to lunch break, so let's see what we can do here. There can be, okay. Doesn't have to be, though.
It's pretty good.
The same place it always goes. To do the same exact thing it'll do over and over again for the rest of its brief existence.
Hey, repetition is important.
Oh, Hoops. You have been perfectly indoctrinated by our consumer culture. You'll do well.
I've decided I hate my character. Hang on a sec, Crazy Nurse. I'm checking something. Well, there was one last thing I wanted to do, and then I got a little distracted by the Machine of Death. Which I think is over here? Question mark? No, wrong way, wrong way. Let's see. Top 3 favorite games I played this year. You know, I actually have gotten that question multiple times recently. I don't have an answer for you without literally pulling up the list. We've played a lot of good games this year, though. Oh, I thought I actually had all the pieces of the password. Well, in that case, let's look for the third piece of the password. Oh my god, that's a lot of resources. That's an inordinate quantity of resources. Holy crap. Light a fire. Some regular stuff, but also silk rope, which is always nice to have. Quartzite and marble, which I'm not sure if I need them yet, but I probably will at some point. I'm sorry. Maybe over there? Yeah, Psychonauts 2, God of War 3. We've played some good games here this year. Plague Tale was this year, I think, and that was another really good one. See you around, Primark. I'll use the zipline in just a sec. Give me a sec to think about my inventory. I think I'm going to drop that. Those are common, super common. Not worth holding on to. I think I'll... This. Okay.
Don't look down! Don't look down!
Well, that didn't work even close to how I thought it would. Alright, take 2. Yeah, Mass Effect 2. I mean, if we're counting God of War 3, we're counting Mass Effect 2. Let's see. Any other questions I haven't answered? What would the Empire think of a Pyrrhic victory? Is that seen as a good thing or a bad thing? Pyrrhic victories are bad things. That's the point of them. The whole point of a Pyrrhic victory is you won, but no, you actually lost. No, that's true, Hazardous. That's a totally valid way to put that. Seeing the way Yennefer is around... Oh my god, what's her name? Her daughter is a good way to highlight the kind of personality Yennefer really has, you know? There we go. That's much smoother.
Science!
Eureka! I've always wanted to say that.
Siri, that's her name. Oh, Jesus. Interesting. Salt and pepper. Shortcut unlocked. Let's go ahead and head back up. Unlock the other shortcut, apparently. No, I missed one somewhere. I just have no idea where, why, or how. And we'll never find it. The end. All right, so tune in next time. No, is the Bayverse Transformers younger than the G1 Transformers, given that the Dynasty of the Prime's reign ended in 70,000 BC? I don't know. I mean, for some reason, Transformers are bagrillions of years old, and by for some reason, I mean Doctor Who syndrome. Because that's just kind of where that's at. Alright, talking to Laura Mom. It's getting late too, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I imagine a lot of people set this up as a base. I never would, because there's spiders everywhere. And spider webs everywhere. Which is awful. We here at the Lore Walkers are not cool with spiders. We want them all to die. Hey! Now I gotta remember where the hell that terminal was. It was way back at the beginning, and I do not remember where that was. I
Light.
didn't hit that on
Bring back the
purpose.
shadows and turn away the inky depths of the night.
Keep it simple, Hoops.
Nope, still gotta die. Hazardous. Nope, this is towards the end, so... we need to go back to the beginning, which is not that way. It's not that way. So it must have been this way, by logical definition. It's definitely it. Definitely not going the wrong way. Wink, wink. Okay, this actually wasn't where I thought it was. Hang on, hang on. Oh, see, that spider deserves to die, okay. Not, you know, anything else, just deserves. Deserves to die. Okay, so this is where I came in there. Means... yeah, that's literally where I want to go, right there. Yeah, that's what I thought. I can von Falkenstein, but why would I want to? I don't have a flamethrower on me that I know of. This is going too far down. Back up, back up. I could tell you some horror stories about spiders. I won't, because I'm not mean, but I could. Here we go. Okay, I just need to center myself where I was and where I want to go. Then I need to talk to my mother. Me too, period. They actually hurt my tongue after a while if I eat too many! Exclamation mark. Sour Patch Kids. Alright. Too far. Well, that didn't work. I wasn't expecting that much of a vertical drop, to be completely honest with you. Okay. I mean, I prefer more people don't have a super creepy spider story, so that's a good thing in my book. Man, this is bad, Dakota. Check this out. The only way to skip time is to sleep, and you can only sleep if you haven't slept within the last, I believe, 24 hours. I am a sun vampire. I've admitted that on camera before. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the rain in Breath of the Wild. Cool and occasionally neat, but ultimately just kind of gets in the way. I don't know if it's 24 hours or 20 hours or 18 hours or 5 hours, but there is a cooldown on sleeping. Because it's nighttime and I'm in a spider nest in a hedge maze. Evo. I gotta figure out my... Okay, so I need to go up. I need to go up. Just beware of it, low, because that's a wolf spider. That's a mean one. Are you not seeing the webbing, Evo? Okay.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna let this one ride. Let's see. God damn it! So in case you missed what just happened, I ran into a twig that I didn't see, which interrupted my jump, so then I fell. And now we get to start that whole process all over again. Before you ask, no, light wouldn't have helped because the twig was above me. Probably the first time I've been frustrated the entire game is missing that jump. I got a torch right here, but honestly, and I've been thinking about this, it's easier to see with the torch off. Like, I mostly was memeing earlier, but actually, it's easier to distinguish a lot of things because of the more uniform light when it's dark. Although, I do need to equip my new dandelion. Thank you for reminding me, Von Falkenstein. Just need to get back to this goddamned terminal. That's all I need to do. Just get to a terminal, hit the thing, be good. And since I don't know how to get there in the base, we're trying to get there above the base. As you can see, I've figured out how to get back to this point pretty quickly. This is like the third time I've done this now. It was like that twig up, or no, it was that twig right there. Damn it. Alright, so let's head back over here. Yeah, okay, that right there. That's what interrupted my jump. So now that I know that's there, we're gonna try something else. And I know that the glide is too vertical, so I can't actually glide across. So, how do I make this happen? Because that's my destination, right there. I need to get there. Let's see. Let's do this. So this should connect when I go left. So left, 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 left. Lefty, left, left, to the left. Level. Oh, nope, this is the wrong spot. Damn it, so I'm going to the wrong spot the entire time. Okay. I've decided I hate this base. This is the most maze-like thing. I had an easier time navigating the ant maze than this frickin' place. Alright. Let me try to reverse engineer where I am. The Pixar block was recorded last March, as in March of 2021. So, all that stuff is long since recorded and done. Which, of course, as you might imagine, means that I didn't record things for Luca, or Turning Red, or Lightyear, because those movies were not out yet. I'm not complaining, comma. I have plenty of delicious treats now, period. I am 100% going in rings because I no longer know where I'm going. I have lost track of my destination. That's a unique form of being lost. There's being lost because you don't know where to go, and then there's being lost because you don't know where you're going. I legitimately thought that I was trying to get back to that spot, but that's just the berry investigation spot. I need to get to the terminal spot, and I'm not sure where that is. So let's do this. Get on top. See if we can get a little bit of a different angle on things. Freaking leaves. What's this? This is the spider area. Not what I want. But spider area was closer to the beginning. And there's the power, and that's good. That's good. Power is good, because power is near the terminal. So this should be it. God damn it. Okay, we did it. I don't know what we did, but we did it. So I have no idea what that did, but that's what I've been trying to do this whole time, is hit that button. 1102, Bregman. Well, that's possible, Geek Stuffer. So as ever, I don't decide what films are ruminated on. You guys do. But more to the point, we may not be doing ruminations in general after the next round. So basically, if it doesn't get voted in, it won't happen, Geek Stuffer. Let's put it that way.
It is likely that this will be my last log from the Hedge lab. Regrettably, the spider infestation has only worsened. Last night, I had a close encounter with a giant brood mother that shook me to my core.
For what?
Couple that with the strange radio signals I've been receiving, and I no longer think this facility is safe.
Virgil here. Can I start you off with a double-charred barbarian bacon burger? It's made the Roby's way.
Burgle, initiate evacuation protocols for the Hedge lab. Make sure any remaining biometric scanners and passcodes are encrypted in the mainframe.
Is that really necessary, sir?
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely necessary. We're being watched.
Oh, I've already given up on ruminations off Turkish cow. That's past tense.
Oh, so this is a super chip? Not what I was expecting, but hey, if it gets me home, it gets me home.
Okay, so let's get the Frel out of here, shall we? Let's head back to base. By the way, hi Brigman. Hi Brigman. Got it. I will check the wall first, just for you.
Aphid on the move.
Telling you, you gotta watch out for those wolf spiders. Yes, wait for dawn. I'm sorry that I'm basically forcing you to be at nighttime. If it makes you feel like I'm not doing it on purpose. I did, Zach Taft. You didn't actually answer the core question, did you pass?
Oh, this is not good. Please help!
What? And with that bombshell,